you could put something out and like you had to put it out at a certain time before like all the bots came in, all the fake followers and stuff like that, where you could have really like if you had something, you would have it. You know what I mean? Like it really fucking took off. So anyway, I'm gonna talk about you. I met this nigga basically through Twitter. We had mutual friends and followers, blah blah blah. And I remember this nigga was wild. The nigga had like some dope shit on his Twitter, and I was like, yo. How you do that? And nigga, you know, we went back and forth on some how to do it shit. I was like, damn, nigga, that shit kind of dope. It was some Photoshop tutorial shit. And I realized the reason I stopped and paid attention was because you had something. And I'm like, and then later I have a cousin who ends up being in some shit you shot. And I'm like, oh, this shit is dope. But you had something. And even when I seen you in real life, I was like, wait, you the important nigga. He was like, nah, not really. And I was like, no, but you are, because you have this. You have these 3 or 4 different lanes of content, and you minimized it because you're like, nigga, I mean, it's cool and all. I mean, I'm doing a little shit over here, but to me, this is normal. But I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm a Twitter nigga, and there's nothing else going on besides what you're doing. Ain't nobody else I know making fucking content. Niggas weren't even photographers yet. This is when the age of I was on my BlackBerry, and them pictures was 2.1 megapixel. Nigga, the Nikons wasn't even no better. Yeah. So camera phones was still trash. But I remember
this is before the wave of everybody becoming a photographer in Omaha. Like
exactly, and which nigga. I'm about to become a photographer tomorrow. Give me one of them 7Ds, like $200 off of eBay, and I'm gonna start photographer in my bio. But I remember seeing you do it, and you had already, again. You was like one of the earlier niggas. This is 2011, maybe 2010, 11. That's the shit. I was a tweeting ass nigga, and for some reason people thought I was cool. But I was really just a regular nigga who sat and chilled at a desk job all day. But when I saw the shit you was doing, I was doing like mixtape covers for niggas. I was like, oh, this nigga painted his own face in Photoshop. I'm like, hey, my nigga, how you do that? All you gotta do is to go in and illustrate. This nigga minimized it so much that I was like, he got something. And he either knows he got it or he don't know. And if we would have knew back then what we know now, because these Instagram niggas that was roasting motherfuckers are now on Nick Cannon shows, and I'm just like, maybe we should have pushed the envelope a little more, because we minimized ourselves when niggas was telling us we was lit. Like, I was telling you was lit. You was like, yeah, not really, though. I'm kind of just a nigga who just moving and grooving throughout the city. So, but I think you kind of showed me that I wasn't shit. But even though you thought you weren't shit, like, we both were still regular to us. I was super regular and you was just regular. And then there was a nigga above. You'd be like, this nigga's on YouTube and he doing that. I'm like, but you better than me. And nobody's doing what you're doing. And you was a funny nigga, like on the low. I was like, I don't never see this nigga in public. And this nigga don't be out here I'm over tweeting. Nigga, I was at like 5 bands of tweets in like a year. I was cooking out here. Nigga, timeline. If you ain't see my shit in the morning, you wasn't gonna see it, my nigga. That shit was gonna be gone. 47 tweets ago or whatever. But yeah, I think it's just interesting because we've seen niggas like other podcasters really blow up off the internet, and we didn't even think we could get in. And you, put you on the spot here, you was like the earlier YouTube nigga. Niggas didn't even know like what niggas put on Instagram now that started on YouTube. You were one of the first niggas on YouTube with real content. What made you, first of all, do it early, and then secondly, made you want to take a step back? So like, what made you jump in early, and then what made you say, nah, I'm not fucking with this lane?
Yeah, I feel like what made me want to jump in, I think that like as far as the platform just being there, it's like the same shit Warren Buffett says about there's a level of just good fortune that comes with him just being white and being born in like 1934 whenever he was born or whatever. Like, I'm not even trying to bag on the niggas like at all, but you know what I'm saying?
90?
He up there.
Jesus
I don't know how
Christ.
old he is.
All right.
But he says that he was born white in a certain time in a certain period, and he wouldn't put up in the library. He had a keen interest in finances, and he taught himself all of this shit. I feel like I was the same way, and I think that just as I was evolving out of art, and I feel like as an artist, I wrote something dope down the other day, and I don't remember what it was, but it was something about like, or maybe, matter of fact, it was a quote that I put, because I'm writing a book right now, and in the book it says something. It was like a quote about something about somebody said something about artists and their and wherever they are in life, and the ability to produce art that reflects their soul or some shit like that. Because remember, no, matter of fact, I sent this to you because there was an excerpt from the book that I'm writing, and I had said something about accept the people who go in Photoshop and whoop-de-woo and blah blah blah. And I was like, yo, am I throwing shade at people who don't really like put their heart and their soul into art?
Right.
Where the fuck was I going with that?
No, I don't know. I remember my response to that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you still see it as art, and other people see it as something else. You're like, it's almost the generational thing where you were an artist before art got fake.
Yeah,
and it was like people we had this talk. You told me like when you paint a painting so well, it looks like a picture.
Yeah.
There's no point in painting the picture. You should just take a picture.
Definitely,
And
it's
it
like
made so much
at
sense,
some
like,
point, like all that work just loses its value.
I just spent 6 hours painting a picture to make it look like a photograph. I may as well have taken a fucking photograph.
Yeah.
Like, the talent is one thing, but it's like you put it up there. What do people see? A photograph. They're like, oh no, it's a painting. You like,
and they get real close and be like, oh shit,
y'all
it
don't
is.
see the 19 hours of time I spent doing this painting. So, but I think that's like, I think it's a testament to what your creativity though. Like some people look at this like, that's not from me. I used to do this shit because I thought it was fun because I was self-taught and it was like a hustle. I was like, yo, I'm broke. Let me go do this random shit. What's the easiest way I can, arrange shit in this PSD and Photoshop some shit? Or, hey, can I figure out a way to paint shit easy and make it seem like I didn't do 19 hours worth of work? Yeah, there's a couple of ways. So now that we've seen people catch that wave and actually make it a living, we're like,
and get famous off that shit.
We're like
too.
the old niggas who like, the nigga, like Thomas Edison, he was like, no, who the fuck, man? Who's the phone? Alexander Graham Bell with the phone? Yeah. The nigga dropped the phone or whatever. Now we got wild waves of the phone. Niggas don't give a fuck. You probably spent your whole fucking life creating the telephone.
Yeah.
And then the next wave of nigga went from rotary phone to digital dial tone or whatever it is.
And honestly, I don't even give myself that much credit as far as I don't think I'm some kind of a pioneer. I just feel like I was an early adopter of YouTube where like I could have a while behind the internet. Like, you know how VH1 had like behind the music or behind the internet, and you hear about this obscure person that you never heard of, and saying they got like the Romelo DeMarco clip or some shit in there. Like, but back to what I was saying, like as far as like Warren Buffett goes, he said he was born in a certain time and all these certain things that he was interested in. I think that I found myself at a point where I was evolving out of being an artist, and I felt like, I was talking about the quote. I felt like I was evolving out, and whatever I would paint, I feel like would be like a reflection of like where I was at the point. Even though I was just doing portraits, like my level of skill was a reflection of where I was at that point in my life. And there's a certain point where I found myself wanting to expand my artistic expression, and either the things that I felt or the ideas that I wanted to express became bigger than being able to put them on a fucking canvas. And one of the things that I did was there was like this MySpace bulletin. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember MySpace bulletins or whatever, but I used to put a bulletin up.
When you walked in. It's like 3 of them typically, right?
Well, it was whoever wanted to put a bulletin up could put one up.
Really?
So yeah, it was like,
I thought it was some moderator shit.
That was basically where like, if somebody was throwing a party or some shit,
that's what
they
it was.
Put it over to the side.
Yeah.
So I would put up one every Wednesday. So there was this dude, and I wrote about all this shit too, so it'd be cool to have this come out in the book. But this dude I went to school with named Greg Ekstrom, and he ended up being like I want to say like a sports reporter. It's been years. So you know what I'm saying. Sorry if you ever hear this and I'm fucking your shit up. My bad. But he was like a reporter or something like that I went to high school with. And he had this shit called X's Thought of the Day, and he would just have like some random ass funny shit. And I'm like, me and him stayed in touch through MySpace or whatever, and I was like, man, that's a dope ass idea. I wish I would have came up with something like that. And that's how I know somebody got a good idea, because I wish I would have came up with that. Like I could have, not even on some random ass, I'm sitting at home beating my dick and one of the videos come on for a fucking Blue Chew, like, damn, I should have came up with that. All it is this and that. Like, nah, like I really, whenever I say I wish I would have came up with that, I feel like it's something I could have come up with. So he was like, you should do a Bruce's Thought of the Day. You got a totally different perspective to me. You a black man, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you'll be cool with that? And he was like, yeah. So I kind of like jacked his wave.
But he gave you the wave.
He did give me the wave. He gave me the surfboard and everything. So he gave me the little paddleboard. So I got on that motherfucker.
Shorts and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So what was that? A Quickboard?
Quicksilver shorts.
So I started putting one up every Wednesday. And it would be something just super random, like I would have a picture of the Golden Girls, and it'd be like, Bruce's Thought of the Day: why do all old white women have afros? Like just some random shit, and you be like, yo, they do.
Why do they all have? No one has a
They
fucking
all
flat
like,
iron. or
for some
nothing,
reason,
a
like they
bob
just
or
start
nothing.
cutting their hair and putting rollers in, and they rock afros, dog. It was mind blowing when you.
Everybody got that
it was
Betty
just
White
like
fro.
Betty White.
That's crazy shit, puffy.
You know, just like mass shooters, Betty White. So anyway, that's not mine either. but fuck. So I will put those up every Wednesday, and I'll like forget a Wednesday, and then people will be like, "Yo, where's the Bruce Star today?" I'm like, "Yo, I got a little platform here," and it started to feel just as good as if I would paint something. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Damn, okay." Decided that, like, you know what I'm saying, the YouTube shit was about to pop off. It was like YouTube had just came out, and nobody was thinking I need to put out content at that time. Right. They was thinking, oh, what is this? Let me go watch some videos. You know what I mean? And you go watch funny videos on YouTube or whatever kind of videos. Nobody was thinking about putting shit out. Nobody even really had cameras back then. You know what I'm saying? Smartphones wasn't what they was.
What
you couldn't.
Phone did you have at the time?
At the time, I had a.
I think I had a Palm Trio. So I had some crummy shit.
I had like a Sanyo flip phone. Oh. With the programmable ringtones. I had Jay-Z Money Cash Hoes as a ringtone.
Was it
This is back when
was it monophonic or was it like the polyphonic joint?
It was polyphonic.
Was it beat like
but it was like polyphonic or whatever.
Polyphonic was the one with actual words, but it was crummy as fuck.
It was polyphonic with no words though, so it sounded dope.
Oh, so the beat was dope.
Yeah, the beat was hard, but you couldn't hear there was no lyrics. I just do instrumentals. So,
but you could tell what the beat was.
Yeah, definitely.
If I use you had to play the guessing game with that shit.
Yeah. I had like Khalees caught out there instrumental for my baby moms, like ironically, like just you know what I'm saying. There's like all these like anyway, whole nother ball of wax. But that's what time it was, man. You couldn't record shit on the phone. I had the 3.1 digital megapixel camera or whatever because I had with the video mode.
Wait, like the Soulja Boy flip cam with the little screen.
This is actually the actual camera. Like it was
it's like the regular digital joint, like the Cool Pix joint type.
Yeah, but it was before the Coolpix wave. It was 2 years before the Coolpix wave because like this camera that I bought was like damn near $500 for a 3.1 megapixel joint, and it was one of the first videos you could actually one of the first digital cameras you could switch to video mode. It was revolutionary at the time.
Spinny joint at the time?
No, it wasn't even a spinny joint. It was a little switch.
I remember my homie stole one from a party one time in Vegas. That's another story, but I remember
a little bulky ass camera with a little ass screen on it.
Tiny,
you know what I'm saying? And it had the Sony memory stick. It wasn't even like the little SD cards.
That shit was long.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy.
That's where I was with it, and so I bought that just because I have, you know what I'm saying, my first son was being born. And I'm like, I want to take some pictures of him or whatever. And then I started to try to pool my resources because I'm like, it would be dope to put these bulletins. Bruce's thought of the day, I could put them on YouTube as videos. I was trying to ironically find different ways because I still wasn't like done with art, but I was like, yo, I need to figure out a way to, you know what I'm saying, drive traffic to my website every day because it's not every day that I could paint something.
Website.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had a website for a few years at that point. You know what I'm saying, which is a whole nother story. But I had taught myself like HTML and shit. Like this cool dude from a church I used to go to put a website up for me, but it ended up being like a GeoCities like early like Black Planet looking page or whatever. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I was like kind of like upset that it looked kind of crummy, so I went in and just modified it myself. I went back a couple of weeks later. He was like, hey, who did your website for you? And I was like, I did. After he had did me this huge favor. I had no idea how to set up a website, and he had did me this huge favor, you know what I'm saying? And I had like the free hosting banner that was on top of my website that you couldn't get rid of because it was a free hosting plan and all that, and I ended up taking all that off. I don't even think I paid for the actual hosting plan. I figured out a way to hack the code, and I hacked hacked the banner out and everything, and made the page look slick than a motherfucker. He was like, who did you? I was like,
so this nigga thought he was doing you a favor and you went in there and just self-taught yourself.
I did. And that's how a lot of the shit that I did that I know how to do I learned because it was out of necessity, out of frustration. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna figure out how to learn this shit. And this was before YouTube tutorials too. He wasn't really my homie.
Cool,
the
cool.
dude,
if you're not your homie,
he was cool, but he was kind of
a,
you know what I'm saying, kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Cool though, but whatever.
So like, unfortunately, like I'm gonna just take all your business because I'm lit. Like you thought you knew something, I knew something in less time than you.
Yeah. I think he knew like super basic, like
he thought it was lit.
Here's a picture, you know what I'm saying, and here's like in this tag IMG/IMG shit, you know what I'm saying, and then I went in there and hit like a little intermediate type shit on them.
You hit the attributes?
What?
The little wild attributes when you hit like niggas had the image SRC equals and it'd be just the fucking URL, and niggas wouldn't put like
center the
border,
image.
size,
Oh yeah, no
marquee,
question.
all
Center
that
the image and all
scrolling
that.
type
Yeah,
shit.
no question. Yeah, I hit him with that. Made the page look real flush. I just wanted to just be like just like a grid with thumbnails. It wasn't nothing super spectacular, but I had a couple little pages that if you click on this, it goes to here and blah blah blah. And that was the beginning of that. But like my hits was like suffering on my website even back then. And this is even before Google AdWords, dog. So if you Google me, it was Bruce Briggs. I was the only Bruce Briggs on the fucking internet, and my shit was #1. And it was like that for years. I didn't think that I thought there was like 8 niggas in the United States named Bruce Briggs. Like, if that. Like every time I would go to log into a new social media platform, Bruce Briggs was always available. You know what I'm saying? Like for all of the ones that I had ever been on, I was always the Bruce Briggs that caught the wave first. Like it was like, oh, it ain't no other Bruce Briggses, and you Google it.
I'm not a pioneer. This nigga crazy.
I'm just saying, I'm so under the radar.
I was just the first nigga who did it.
It's just I wasn't a trailblazer. I might have been pioneer, but I wasn't a trailblazer. Like people come through and they see the path. Like my path got wild, like lilies and lilacs and shit growing over it.
Oregon Trail and died a few times. Like he couldn't cross the river.
Died of dysentery and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to play that game, but niggas learned how to at least get that far in the game and not to just like beat the game all the time. And you're just like, oh shit. I used to. They don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's over, bro.
Yeah, they do time trials with that shit now. You know what I mean?
That's exactly. It's like, nigga, you're the nigga who told me that you could do Mario in a certain amount of time.
Oh yeah, no question. Yeah,
because I played the other day and I'm like, oh, nigga,
that's still one of the best games.
You don't die. Like I'm just saying, you have to play this motherfucker and you don't die.
Yeah.
You like, yeah, I'm gonna beat that motherfucker in less than a minute and a half.
Yeah.
What? But yeah, back to your the website of the YouTube
jumping
thing,
around. So yeah, I'll go back to you know what I'm saying. Stop me if you need more details or whatever.
No.
But like with YouTube, it was like perfect. It was like a perfect time. Like I figured out that I could actually upload something. And I'm like, I want to be able to bring people back to my website every day, but even though because it's not every day I could paint something, like you know what I mean. So I'm like, let me figure out a way to soft sell them. Because I was reading like marketing books and shit at the time and found out soft sales versus hard sales. So if you could just like have something like this cup right here is being soft sold right now. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, everybody buy this mug.
What kind of cup is that though?
This is a Mug Life collection mug out of, you know what I'm saying, this is one of like a little side business I have. And I'm thinking about rebranding the entire company, but these designs will be the same. So this is McDowell's 8507 Queens Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? But just like the fact that I didn't put this mug in the camera and say, hey, everybody, I want you to go to this website, whoop-de-woo, and buy this mug. Right. That's a hard sell. Right, hard sell. Like, or if I'm trying to tell you all the features and the benefits of this mug and see, how much money you got on you right now? Well, you could buy this mug and, you know what I'm saying, right now, I'll sell it to you for a fraction of the price that it is on the website. It's offers only good as long as I'm in front of your face, though. Hard sell. Soft sell is me just sitting in this, I might drink out of that mug for 2 or 3 podcast episodes and people are like, hey, where'd you get that mug? I'm like, oh, let me tell you since you brought it up. Got it. So I figured a way to soft sell my shit was to put a different piece of artwork in every video that I would record and do Bruce's Thought of the Day like they would do like those episodes on sitcoms where you would have all of the key actors in the sitcom sitting around and those thoughts would pop up in their head. You would have Martin thinking about something and then Tommy think about something, then you get to Cole and Cole just got crickets in his head and but their mouth's not moving. I'm like, I could do a whole episode like that where I'm just like, thinking about some shit. And I could edit it to I'm having like wild pop-ups in my head or whatever. I could cut to different shit. And I could have a piece of artwork in the background of wherever I'm sitting. Right? And so I was like, okay, I just need somebody to shoot this shit for me. My homie, you know what I'm saying, who, I'm not going to say no names, but Skylar Jefferson
that nigga
was like, I said, hey, you want to be a filmmaker, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do this artwork shit. Why don't you, one hand can wash the other. Why don't you come, I got a camera. Come set this camera up. You could record this shit. You could edit it. You could use my computer to edit it. He was like, bet. You know what I'm saying? Weeks went by and he never showed up. And I kept I was real serious about this shit. Right. Never happened. So I finally was like, fuck it. I got an ironing board, used the ironing board as a tripod, set the camera up, put it on video mode. And I had at the time I used this the first one I shot was a fake beatboxing video, and I probably insert it right here just for the sake of motherfuckers or so for reference or whatever. I wonder if anybody knows about my hidden talent.
couple people. Oh yeah.
Damn it. That's not gonna work.
Is it on YouTube still?
I think it might be unlisted. I unlisted a lot of my videos, and I'll get to that because that was the second part of the question you asked me, like, why did I decide to take a step back from it? But once I ended up putting that shit up, like I had a mural painted in my living room of Outkast Idlewild. It was my favorite movie at the time, and it had Big Boy and Andre 3000, and that shit took off, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, niggas was really asking for it and shit, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I was getting a few hits.
What was the offers like?
Offers.
Like offers, like if niggas was trying to buy something like that from you.
Like, I mean, offers, or what was it going for? Because this was like, I wasn't never like, it wasn't never selling like hotcakes.
Like I was saying, so with the offers before, like, cause until I met you, I really didn't understand how to price art.
Yeah.
And I was like, niggas would tell me how much shit costs. I'm like, you niggas is wild.
No, I mean, offers, I would like, they would be like, oh, I'll give you $500 for that or whatever, but I'd be like, nah, it's just like $3,500, dog. And I wouldn't be willing to negotiate at all because I knew what I put into it. I knew it was original.
Niggas thought it was like, oh yeah,
he really gonna take this, yeah. And I was like, fuck y'all, fuck off.
I'm that nigga, so let's make sure I'm those guys, because I'm thinking if I'm offering you $350 and you like, fuck on my face, I'm still like, oh, I thought that was a pretty good offer.
My thing has always been, and I told this kid I used to mentor that, like, you got something up for sale for $35 and you frustrated because it won't sell. Why don't you put $3,500 on it? Because if you sell that motherfucker at this point, $35 ain't gonna make or break you. But if you sell it for $3,500, like, when it rains it pours. Like, if it's not selling at $3,500 and $35, it's just not selling.
It's not selling at
but
all.
When it sells, it sells. So why don't you get paid?
That's a bar. You gotta take that.
You know what I mean? And then on top of that, people will perceive it as having more value if you price it like that. But there's also like a law of art that says start cheap and thou shalt start cheap and end up expensive. And I really believe in that. Like, you start cheap, you start throwing your shit out there cheap, and you know what I'm saying, and if not, in some situations, if it's not physical art, you might put some shit out for free, but eventually you need to start charging and increase your shit incrementally, especially as you, like, there's a way that I calculate, I'm getting off subject like a motherfucker, but like, the way that I calculate anything that I do, you know what I'm saying? You have time and you have like and materials that go into it, you know what I'm saying? So you basically will take your materials and then you take however much you want to get paid an hour and you multiply that shit, you know what I'm saying, to get your total of what you want to charge for shit, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to justify the cost. So even if you have to bottom out on materials and you have to like sell at cost to cover your shit, you can still justify like not getting paid for your time.
To get your materials back.
Yeah, which will also be in the book. So
okay, say that for later. The YouTube in the background, Idlewild, niggas was kind of taking off. So your shit was getting.
So I started just doing the shit myself, man, because like my homie didn't show up.
So Skylar, my master.
Yeah, he didn't show up. Skylar didn't show up. Okay. I had a Dell computer with the free editing software. Might have been Windows Movie Maker.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and that shit like got me through, man. Like, I think it is XP.
Jesus Christ. I
thank God for the niggas who made Windows Movie Maker, man, because it wasn't shit else out there. I think after that came like CyberLink Power Director, which was fucking trash. But I used that for a minute. But like, it was one of those computers that once I learned how to do this shit, man, without a YouTube tutorial, just like clicking shit, like, oh shit, that happened. I lost the whole file. I got to go back and re-record. Like, once I figured that shit out, I hit the ground running, and I found that like, I was like, my thought processes were faster than the computer, like than what I was making happen on the computer. Right. So I was like, damn, I was sitting there waiting for the shit to catch up. You know what I mean? So then I had to figure out how to like upgrade my software and shit. But like, or even my hardware. But after a certain amount of time of me doing these videos and you put them out and people demanding them and shit, I found that like I had started to like forget to put the artwork in the background.
Damn.
And I was like, yo, I really got bit by the bug. Like, I just love this filmmaking shit. There was like this amplified feeling of like satisfaction that I wasn't getting by painting, that I was getting by making film. You know what I'm saying? And just putting shit on YouTube. You know what I mean? And then that was like when...
The reason you started was not the reason you kept doing it.
Not at all. Not at all.
Got it.
So then after that, you get into like me having these great ideas, but then not having the resources to like hire actors or like get people that was serious enough to show up and shit like
My
that.
best friend Skylar would not.
Well, then
show up
Skylar ended up kind of like coming in and helping me out with some
because he
shit.
saw you as wavy.
Basically, he saw
That's
cut the
crazy.
waves. Like, oh, this nigga.
That's a real
Yeah,
friend. Nigga's like, oh, so
yeah.
I thought your idea was bullshit. Now I see it's taking off.
Yeah,
Let me be your friend.
you know.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Skylar.
Shout out to Skylar though. He's one of the most solid niggas we know.
He
like,
knows that
he's super solid.
He's owed this slander because he was supposed to do something for us and he ain't did it yet.
He's a phenomenal writer. Like
he's
I know
a
he's
good
gonna
guy.
say he's a
dropped
dope
the ball
dude.
one time.
But,
I'm not gonna let him.
yeah, I can't never let him live that down. Like,
So-
there's some situations he probably roast me in the same way, so I gotta let him have it.
Yeah, I have
Pause.
the same energy. As soon as he get a chance, he will.
Yeah, no question. It sometimes even unwarranted. They would come out of nowhere, just like start just slandering niggas and shit. So after that, let me see. I put out gang of videos, and I started to figure out the formula to the shit. And I started to do music video parodies, and some of my videos will go up to like 100,000 hits. And I was really, really cooking. You know what I mean?
And this is in the age when like, well, what year?
This is, I think I started out 08. So I think by like 2010, 2000, maybe 2011, I had really, really figured this shit out.
Niggas didn't even have internet that was like really fast and capable enough to.
Not at all.
The YouTube was still buffering in 2011. So the fact that you getting 100,000 hits means you got 100,000 quality niggas with decent internet.
There wasn't no bots in that shit.
Yeah,
there was no bots.
It was like literally views, but also they had to be able to actually watch it.
Yeah,
because
and
some
niggas was
had
logging on the computers. They wasn't on their phones.
Niggas had like AOL dial-up and couldn't watch the video.
This is like, you gotta think like I caught this wave way before iPhones ever came out. Like, well, iPhones came out, but niggas didn't have them. You know
That
what I
pissed
mean?
me off. I just found that out.
Niggas didn't really have
know iPhones
iPhones.
was out in 2008 until like my homie's like, no, I had the first one. I was like,
only people I knew with iPhones in 08 was like in San Francisco, like, you know what I'm saying, in California niggas. Like, it wasn't
crazy.
nobody in Omaha had an iPhone. And I think I got my first iPhone around like 3GS. So even then niggas like, you got an iPhone or you got
But that
money?
was like even
like,
2011, right? Because my
yeah,
shit.
it was like
I didn't get on the
2011,
wave
2010,
till, like,
2011.
2014. No, maybe like 20. Yeah, I had the iPhone 4 was my first one. So that was at least 3 years later. But to think that you was an early cooking nigga, and even then you was like, it still wasn't the wave. I mean, you couldn't. Could you upload with the iPhone 3GS?
Hell no, you couldn't even record on that motherfucker. Like, I don't even think they had. I want to say they didn't have video. I mean, they had maybe they did or they
didn't. The first
didn't.
one with the camera? That was the first one with the camera, right?
I don't know. I mean, it had a camera on it, but
I mean,
I don't think
the
you
one
could
with
really. But even then, like, you had to export, like, YouTube, I don't think would take that format, so you had to convert the shit.
That's
it was
what
all
really
kind of
was.
extra
And
obstacles.
Apple
So
was a whole asshole for that.
yeah, so I was actually still recording on cameras. I had like mini D. I started off like on a mini DV camera. After the digital joint, I think I went over to like a mini DV camera. Maybe I'm lying, but had a couple different cameras, digital cameras and shit. Bought like I want to say it was like a Sony, like a little handheld joint from my homeboy.
Handycam joint?
Use that, yeah. It was like a handy, but it was a lit handy cam. I think it was one of the first digital joints. Yeah.
Or the one that had not the mini DVD joints.
No, it was. I had a mini DVD though. I had a mini DVD with,
but it wasn't Sony though. It was just some different shit.
Yeah, the Sony was.
I paid
it was
$500 for them in 2007 with some
then
bread
it
that I
was-
didn't have, and I just was like, that was the dumbest. Them fucking CDs was like $10 each.
Yeah, they was.
Or
Yeah,
the DVDs.
but you get the rewritable ones and you lit. But at the same time,
And
like
them was like
you
double
didn't
the
have all
price.
the space. You had to go buy hard drives and all that extra shit.
And at that time, I had no real reason to have them.
Yeah,
But
but then like so when I started running the problems with like the Sony, because you got codecs and all this extra shit, you got to still
that was
convert
the
the.
way.
I was like, man, this
Kaza
is
talked about
stupid.
codecs. Kaza was like,
Dude.
you don't have this codec to play this movie. And I was
Yeah.
like, the fuck is a codec?
You had to have all that shit just to edit them, and then sometimes like the files would be too big to even go into whatever I was using at the time. Like Windows Movie Maker would crash, so then I go over to Power Director. And Power Director is
was
like, you know what I'm saying. I started to learn.
That was a CyberLink bundle though, right?
Yeah,
All that
yeah.
shit was in, yeah.
I started to learn like how to like do like tracking and shit like that, and how to do like everything that people are doing now with like the putting faces on other people in like the little comedy videos where they might put Steph Curry and LeBron on Craig and Debo, like, you know what I'm saying, like faces or whatever, like shit like that. I was learning tracking and all of that back then, but it was just a trash ass program. And I'm not trying to sit here and like shit on CyberLink, but that shit was frustrating as fuck. So
It was just like your vision was farther than the resources.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
evolution
definitely.
of the game. The
Yeah.
game evolution. Like you was like, oh, I would love to do this and do this, but
Yeah.
we can't right now.
yeah.
I can't remember the fucking cartoon. South Park did it with the
Yeah.
little shits, but
So the reason why I ended up kind of getting out of that, man, and we did all kind of shit. We did like Super Black Mario Brothers. I did like the Romello DeMarco shit. But the thing that I really felt like I was cooking at was like the music video parodies. And I'm like, if I could do these music video parodies, I had figured out it's like a dope ass formula, right? I can redirect everybody else to these videos that only have like 8, 9, 10,000 hits. You know what I mean? And back then the niggas was like, yo, you got that many hits and blah, blah, blah. And even if I would like only have like 250 hits in a week, they're like, you still got 250 hits. So, cause they wasn't even out, let alone was they not like uploading shit. If they did, it wasn't getting no hits. And I'm just like, that ain't shit. What you talking about? This is before niggas was getting millions of hits.
Black Planet was the first thing that counted hits, right? And niggas like full-fledged pages weren't getting like, nigga, you would have like 100 hits over 2 years or some goofy shit. So the fact that you have a video, one single video page, and you're getting this many hits, it's like unheard of.
And it's funny though too, because I was kind of used to it, and not to like sit here and like brag, but like I was like, and this ain't even gonna be perceived as a brag, because niggas probably gonna laugh at me about it.
Like, oh my god!
But I was like Black Planet member of the week one time. You know what I'm saying? And then my page blew up, dog. Like I
always wanted to be member of the week,
10,000. Like this is a thing that like. So
if you knew about Black Planet, bro.
If you knew about Black Planet though,
it's 52 weeks. It's 52 niggas. It's not a lot.
If you know about Black Planet, like if anybody that has other like my member of the week alumni, your shit would cap out at 10,000 notes, basically 10,000 inbox messages. You couldn't get no more. Like that's how high the fucking number system counted. So like when I got over like 10,000 messages, I had to put a note, or I had to redo my little page and say, yo, I can't reply to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be like pompous, like, oh my god, like I'm a celebrity now, fuck y'all. Like I was really trying to sit there and reply to everybody.
Shit you had, like what, it was like your headshot was like some cheesy shit, like some I'm gonna get bitches shit.
Nah, it was my airbrush shit, like from my first business. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know what I'm saying? And I had beef with another airbrush nigga, like because of that shit. It was girls in my inbox like soliciting sexual favors for clothes and shit. It was lit. It was crazy, man.
Did you do any?
No, all them bitches was out of state, dog. Like it was one girl that was like she wanted to suck my dick for a t-shirt that say Subway on it.
Would you have done it though if she was local?
Nah, probably not. Because
okay, I'm just asking.
Like,
we talking about
when
early.
It's that easy.
Fair.
When it's that easy, it's scary.
That's gross.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
it's
I'm
scary.
just if it's contemplatable because you're like, damn, would I really respect a bitch who want to suck my dick for a shirt?
I mean, it was definitely women who would try to throw in sexual favors with like the transaction and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like that's in any industry. Any industry got groupies.
They don't respect men.
Any industry got groupies. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They don't respect men. They just think we're pieces of meat that's going to do anything.
Yeah, definitely. I felt so vulnerable.
Yeah, but why would they take advantage of? Like, we're not that.
I was just trying to
wild
just do L7 business, man.
You think like, you just go? Yeah, you just like, why would you just? I'm not going to take money. I would rather you suck my dick in an alley. No, I don't want that. I would much rather have money so I can buy more materials. But
exactly, but they don't see
it that way. They think we're all just dogs. And all we care about is busting a nut.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wrong.
So, that was like an earlier experience where I'm like, okay, well, I kind of know how to handle this, like quote unquote pressure, if you will, if it shit ever hit the fan. So then when I started getting those hits on YouTube, I was like, cool, this ain't nothing. Like I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I've been here before. But a funny thing happened. And I know I don't know if I'm gonna sound like a hater or I'm gonna sound bitter. I don't give a fuck. I'm like kind of speaking my truth. We did a parody to Lil Wayne and Birdman, Money to Blow. Mm-hmm. So this is basically my formula. And the shit will probably still work. So if anybody want to take the shit and cook up with it, feel free. I would take I would listen to all the new music that came out, but only from higher, from top artists, hip hop, R&B or whatever. And I would listen to the single that they put out. Try to find an instrumental. If I couldn't find the instrumental, I'll try to remake the instrumental, which will always end up being less way crummy. But
so
I get in the Fruity Loops.
But you were like, I'm gonna get Fruity Loops.
I took my little rap background or whatever. I used to think I wanted to be a rapper or whatever. I tried to be one. I wanted to be one. I won't say I tried. Because I ended up I'm telling my whole life story here, but I ended up getting saved or whatever. And I threw all my CDs away and shit. And niggas was like, my homies was like, where the CDs go, man? What dumpster did you put the CD? I had like a crazy CD collection.
You were trying to make parodies, and because you were trying to make parodies, you were like, I need to find the instrumental, and I can't always find the instrumental, but because of my rap background, and I've been playing around in these programs, the beats.
Yep.
Why? Because I was an aspiring rapper at one time. But the reason I stopped becoming an aspiring rapper is because I got saved and thrown CDs away.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you have a great life. Please do continue.
Yeah. But it's
the Money to Blow beat. The Money to Blow. I got you.
I try to pull different. I think that's what life is all about, man. Trying to pull from different experiences that you had and try to bring it together and make one humble pie.
Like, I really like this.
It's like Forrest Gump, you know what I mean?
If there was anything charismatic about life that would just like garner and tell a nigga he deserves some pussy, it's what you just said about your life. You're like, oh, I was a rapper, but then I got saved. I threw away my CDs, but then
I won't say I was a rapper,
too. But the fact
the experience of like playing around in Fruity Loops,
you were open to life. You were like
acoustic MP3 audio mixer. You know what I'm saying?
You could have never wrote that story.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
nigga, you went from like, oh, I'm an artist to an artist to I can't do nothing because I'm out here being saved and shit. Now I'm just a regular nigga, you know, that's doing a podcast with this nigga. But yeah, please continue about the the Money to Blow skit.
No, so I figured that if you catch this song before they make the video, they always used to release the single before they released the video, especially when YouTube videos wasn't really like the wave. Like now YouTube videos is like mandatory. This is before Vivo was popping. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because Vivo came with the marketing thing. We'll talk about that later. I always wondered about when the fucking Vivo wave started. Like when did
I really couldn't even tell you. Vivo came out of nowhere and it was ubiquitous as fuck. Like it was everywhere.
I was like, what the fuck is a Vivo? All of a sudden, they got artists making real videos and putting them on YouTube.
Because it wasn't like that at first.
It was an official page.
You have to take a video from somewhere else and put it on YouTube for the artist. And then all of a sudden, the artist had these official pages. And at first, I didn't think that shit was going to work because they tried that on MySpace. Like, they tried to have the artist pages or whatever on MySpace. That was right around the time MySpace was going downhill. You know, and I feel like I've always kind of had, like, my finger on the pulse of, like, the evolution of the internet, I want to say, and like as far as like the social media landscape goes, because I was always a nigga that was like, hey, y'all need to come over to y'all fuck MySpace, come over to Facebook, and everybody be like, oh no, you know, you can't customize your page over there. I'm like, nah, but this is where it's at. That shit about to be dead. I knew it, and then everybody used to like come over real slow. Or like I was a motherfucker that I told you the story before. I stole one of my sister's .edu email addresses to get on Facebook because I didn't go to college. Right. So I'm like, but I gotta be on Facebook. You know what I mean? And I came over from Black Planet to Facebook or MySpace to Facebook.
I'm gonna tell you why you wild nigga. You a nigga who didn't go to college, who wanted to be in a space with niggas who went to college.
Yeah.
You knew something.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I think I did.
Because I mean, it's like you didn't even know what the fuck it was like. It was like, hey, I don't go to college, but I want to go to the party.
No question.
That's what it was. So. And you somehow snuck in this motherfucker.
Exactly. They be like, hey, Bruce is here? Like, wait,
nigga, what frat are you with? You like, oh, frat, huh?
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't get, you know, I don't bark in the woods.
Is it?
After parties.
Bark at parties.
I'm not dancing parades and shit.
That's just
no
wild
offense to any of my Greek friends, but
y'all can take it how y'all want it.
We know y'all know how we do the frat things, but yeah.
So I'll keep losing my place. So okay, so I had this formula. I'm like, if you catch the wave of the single before they shoot the video, you find this shit, you could craft the lyrics perfectly. But my thing was, I really put a lot of time into crafting the lyrics that actually rhymed with the original lyrics. I wouldn't just say anything over the beat. So which is a lot of people who do parodies just like put anything in there. You know what I'm saying? And they leave some of the original lyrics in. I'm like, everything is going to be different, but it's going to sound like a mirrored version to the point where a lot of people still come up to me to this day and they're like, yo, you remember when you did this parody? I can't remember the original lyrics. I only know your lyrics. Shit like that. I wanted to make it sound just like that shit, but make it funny. You know what I'm saying? Like on some like shout out to like Weird Al, but how he did, like, you know, Michael Jackson had I'm Bad and he put out I'm Fat. Like bad and fat, kind of, you can make it rhyme. So I put that shit out like that. Like with the Money to Blow joint, that was like one of the last parody videos that I did. And I wrote all the lyrics. I had one of my light-skinned homies play Drake. I had his dark-skinned big brother, bald-headed, play Birdman. I drew tattoos on his face, and I played Lil Wayne. I had dreadlocks at the time. And we called it Money to Blow, but we was basically playing like we was broke the whole video. So we would go, I took some counterfeit bills down to this bar downtown, and I got them all in on it to let me record. And the bartender held the money up to the light and ripped the shit up or whatever. All these different things, like niggas was putting like change on pump 5 and then giving themselves free car washes with the squeegees at the pump while they was waiting, or going to the McDonald's drive-through for the dollar menu. After all that work that I put in, put this video out, and that shit take off, right? Boom, 100,000 hits. Then I'm searching for it because this is okay. So I keep forgetting to like kind of divulge the details of the formula. So you do that like as far as the you got basically a week or two between the time the single drop and the video drop for whatever song, like Drake and Birdman putting this shit out. Right. Like you got a week to craft the lyrics, to get your whole video shoot together, to shoot your shit, and then you wait for the actual video to drop, or even before. You could drop it before the video drop. People are going to be searching for this. You name your shit the exact same thing that they're gonna name theirs, but then you put spoof. So when people are searching for this is way before all the fucked up algorithms and shit. Right. People will see this like number 1 or number 2.
before the video drops.
If it ain't no video out, you get all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But then when the video is actually out, like, then you still get all of that because people gonna watch that video first and then they're gonna watch the other one. So it was like perfect. It was like a foolproof formula, right? So I was like, cool, I got this. Put that video out, then motherfucker take off. I'm like, this is dope. This is, you know what I'm saying, really cooking with this shit. And then one day I'm logging in to see what the views did, and I seen a Money to Blow parody that was like, I used to name my shit like Money to Blow parody or something like that, and then somebody put like Money to Blow spoof. And I was like, what is this? I clicked on it, right? And it was this spoof that was like, they had a budget. Like, we didn't never have a budget with our shit. We didn't have lighting. We didn't have like a studio to shoot. And like, these niggas did like an actual parody of the actual video. I don't know if you remember this video, but Drake was like, it was like a puddle. He was like slapping his foot in the puddle. Yeah, it was milk or something like that. And it was like a white background. Like, they had the space. They had like a nigga that he was a light skinned nigga or whatever. But then like as the video came on, I was like, yo, this shit is kind of dope. But the video came on and it was like this bizarre cartoon version. It wasn't a cartoon, but like, it was like some of the like worst shit I ever seen in my life.
As far as the content.
Like, it was like, I want to say niggas had like fart noises in it and shit. And it was like the nigga like had that play Lil Wayne had like a dreadlock wig. It was this bizarre ass, like, I can't even begin to describe what it was, but these niggas had 1 million views, dog. And I was like, what the fuck?
Because it looked like the video, maybe to an extent, but that was...
I don't even know. Maybe because maybe niggas watched, like, they probably looked at it and probably seen the thumbnail and probably thought it was a real video. Who knows? But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, it's because this shit is so cheesy and so cartoony. It was like Teletubbies version of the shit like that we was doing, man. Like, it was like... I want to say the nigga had like the play Lil Wayne had like some fake buck teeth in. Like, it was like so goofy, and some of the shit that didn't have nothing to do with like, why would you even do this? You just decided I'm just do the silliest shit that we could do, and the lyrics didn't match up as far as the shit. I'm just like, I felt like the nigga that pushed the nigga off the piano in 5 Heartbeats. Like, you know, oh, that's my music, man. I felt kind of offended,
right?
And I'm not trying to sound like a hater. Like, I'm glad that they could hit like that. But at the same time, I'm like, I know I put more work in. I know that my shit was more solid, even though we didn't have the budget and blah, blah, blah. I had to ask myself, like, in order to get those types of hits, am I willing to do that?
Right.
And I was like, no, I know I'm not supposed to be in, like, I'm not in competition. I'm definitely a nigga that like, one of my favorite thoughts that I've ever had was, you know, there's no such thing as competition when you function from creativity. I'm gonna have to start over. Your competition is diminished when you function from creativity, but your creativity is diminished when you function from competition.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, whenever like niggas is creating, you're not worried about what somebody else is doing because you just constantly, like, you are the bar setter. But when you're competing, you're looking like, who's up there? Okay, let me see how I could do that. Let me see how I could get better than that. But if somebody's truly creating,
when you're creating, there's no measurement.
No measurement at all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when you're truly creating, like, you just like you creating these bars and you dropping them, and niggas is trying to hurdle these bars. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I did better than this. But then the true creator is going on to something else, like, you know what I'm saying, fucking building furniture or some shit.
You're like, the metric says, oh, he's 1 million views. I don't see the creativity. No one saw the creativity. We say, oh shit, and they got 1 million views.
Yeah.
You don't know why.
Exactly. And they're like, oh, this shit is popping, so let me add 20 more views because I'm gonna send this to everybody. There must be something special behind this. I'm not smart enough as a viewer to dissect what's special about it, but it's popping, so let me share it. Because if it's not on my page too, like it's on this person's page who I respect, then I'm not in the loop and I'm not gonna look as cool. So I'm gonna share this shit mindlessly. And I seen that I had the opportunity to disrespect myself and get caught up in that shit.
Right.
And to lose the value of what was like giving me fulfillment as an artist, and to just start creating mindlessly and saying, okay, what's going to pop? Like, my shit popping was just coincidental. Like, and I was like cool with that, and I was happy with it. And I kind of felt a little envious to these motherfuckers that had came in and just kind of like, I won't say they jacked the wave, but like, there's definitely like poison in the waters. And I was like, yo, this is like artificial wave pool that they, you know what I'm saying? And niggas think that they can surf. And I'm like, I'm out here with the sharks. And these motherfuckers is at Funplex and they doing all these moves and shit. And everybody going to Funplex. I'm like, y'all could come to the beach though. So I decided to take a step back then. I think I still put out a couple more videos like over the years or whatever, but it just was never the same because I didn't really feel like I wanted to compete. And then another thing too was I've always been, this is the first time I've ever said this in my life out loud, but I've always kind of been afraid to put myself out there fully. Like there was one saying, I think that it helped me out just as much as it fucked me up, where it's like, you have to be very careful who you introduce yourself to the world as. You know what I mean? Which is crazy in hindsight because you see all these niggas come out after I learned that and they just don't give a fuck and they blow up. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I didn't want to be known as like the sneaker documentary guy. And everybody's like, make a part 2 to Above the Hype. And I'm just like, I really don't want to. If I did, that shit will probably be popping as fuck. But I really don't want to. And I don't want to be, because even then, when I had like my Instagram at its peak was like 5,500 followers. And which ain't really shit in the grand scheme of things, but like for me it was. I came up with like 800 followers or whatever. Right. And then once I stopped posting sneakers, I would post a selfie and I would get like 50 likes and I'd be like, yo, damn, am I ugly or what? And they're like, it wasn't that. It was like niggas just wanted to see sneakers on my page. If I put some sneakers up, it would get 250 likes or whatever. It'd get all these views and these shares and my shit would blow up and I'd get sales on a documentary, but I couldn't post nothing else. And I felt confined to that. And that's like that goes against what I feel in my heart as an artist. And it kind of stifles my ability to create. Why is she looking here like we in trouble? But it stifles my ability to create. You're like, right.
What are these niggas doing here?
But it stifles my ability to like feel freedom in creating. Do you know what I mean? When I feel like I have to like create with the purpose or with the fun, like instead of just expressing myself and this is how I feel, or having an organic project find me like Above the Hype, where I thought I was alone in the world in the 8th grade by putting my sneakers in bags and like going home and scrubbing them with toothbrushes and shit. And I find out that it was 100,000 kids in the United States doing that shit at the same exact time I was, but I just didn't know how to communicate with them. There wasn't no internet. Right. So then I'm like, yo, this is a lot of people's story. I could put this story out. I can go interview other people who was like geeks like me with the sneakers and put it out, and people will actually watch this shit and they'll appreciate it. Like, I'm definitely doing this. I felt like it was a passion project, you know what I mean? But yeah.
So much for, I want to see how this is the response is to me putting this out. You're like, no, I'm doing it because I'm a part of the lifestyle, and I want to say, hey, let me connect with other people who are part of the lifestyle. Not saying, hey, look at me, I like sneakers.
Exactly.
Like, no, I want to share with other sneakerheads and at the same time document it all.
Yeah.
And so, do you think, like what you said, like the Instagram likes? Do you think that and this is a terrible question because we're living in the realm of likes for everything. Do you think that you were seemingly offended or I'll throw some niggas out there. I know people who have meme pages today. Niggas will have probably 100 likes on each meme they post. Post a fucking picture of yourself. You got 13. No one gives a fuck about you. We're here for your memes.
Right.
We're not here for your kids. We're not here for your lunch. We're not here for your selfie. Do you feel like it's offensive because people will only like you for what they like you for, and then it's like they don't like me, they like what I do?
I don't think it's offensive. I think that that's cool, but it goes back to what I was saying. Like, you really have to be careful who you introduce yourself to the world as. So if you want for people to like your photos of you, you know what I'm saying, you might have to be an Instagram thotty. You know what I mean? You might have to pick something that kind of is able to incorporate what you do. Like, matter of fact, I seen and shout out to whoever this nigga is. You might know exactly who he is, but I've randomly came across a sponsored ad on Instagram like 2 days ago, and it was like the caption was like, I promise I'm not gonna let my city down, blah blah blah, and it was like some rap instrumental. Oh, this nigga's a rapper. I'd never seen him before.
The size something?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was a nigga from the Outer Omaha thing. Not him?
No.
Okay.
But like it was a dude, he was working out and there was some rap music playing. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. This dope niggas about to sit in this and he's rapping and the bars sound kind of cool. And then he puts on a suit after he get done working out and he goes like into like this office and it's an ad for like Nebraska Realty. And I went to his page and he got like pictures of him like bodybuilding and doing fitness, but then he's also a realtor nigga, Omaha nigga. And I was like, this is pretty cool. He's figured out his niche and he can actually post selfies and he can get his likes too. So it's like, this is kind of like how he introduced himself, right. And this is his lane. For me, I never figured that shit out. People think I got it figured out. I never figured it out, dog. Like, I think that I'm such a, and I'm not trying to be like, I'm this and that, but like, I'm such a multifaceted person. I feel like every time I try to pick a side and try to like mine that tunnel, like there's something else that I'm like, but I also like I could connect a lot of different ideas. So like, for example, like for this podcast, like I'm able to, edit this, I can record this shit, edit it. Me and you can come up with concepts and all that all day. and I can bring all this together in one. They distracted me like a motherfucker. I can bring all this, huh?
On a fight, but I can't hear I'm like,
like they see us, we're like, why wouldn't they think that? Like,
yeah, but because they
common
be
sense.
inconsiderate. Because
yeah.
we just niggas.
Next time we will put a sign up on the door that says "Quiet." If you can read this, please be quiet because we can hear you.
And we're recording.
Yeah, we're recording.
Like,
mics. Yeah, recording in process. Bastard. Yes.
Yeah.
Because these mics picking all that shit up.
Because you got good mics.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So these crummy motherfuckers is gonna try to sabotage our podcast before we go.
No question. No question.
Pilots.
But so I don't even remember what the fuck I was saying.
You was talking about how the niche, like you said, I've never been able to find my lane. Like, you know all this stuff, yeah. So every
time I put something out, people think, oh, this nigga's lit. He got a lane or whatever. Even, okay, so for right now, for example, memes in the stories. People might only know me as the meme nigga from Instagram right now. And I'm okay with that.
You cool with that? Yeah.
But then when, like, I post a selfie and the bitches is like, oh, he's sexy too. Like, it's like, how come he don't post more pictures of himself? He got cute kids. How he post pictures of kids? I'm just like, because I'm not here for that. I'm just here for this artistic expression. And for some fucking strange reason, dog, like putting music behind memes and putting my Bitmoji on that shit, it does something for me right now. It's therapy for me. And that's why I put this shit out. In a week, it could not be that. And I could totally tear that shit down and nobody ever see a fucking meme poster for me again and I'll be on to the next shit.
It'd be like your shoes all over again. Niggas just stop liking your shit because
they're
not.
And I'm okay with that. People might think that I'm like, oh, I don't have like the perseverance to blah blah blah, whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like that just make me feel good. You know what I mean?
Way for both of us. We are niggas who don't chase the clout.
Not at all.
We are the niggas who are probably more offensive than relatable.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the scheme of things, like, nigga, we gonna post this shit. I just made a frat joke. I got like 7, 8 frat friends. Dude, it's like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Why you gonna still come for my homies? Whatever. You know, I'm still like, yeah. Oh, Christ. But yeah, but we're those guys who are like unapologetic. Like, you know my intent.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm here for a shoe documentary, I'm like, yo, I got this off. And you're like, oh, yeah, but what about more shoes? Nah, my nigga, I'm not on that. And if you don't want to fuck with me because I'm not on shoes no more, I'm cool with that. I respect you not fucking with me no more. You were only here for my memes. I'm done making memes or whatever. I'm out. And I think that's what people often mistake us for is one lane people. Like, we are so much more than that. And I think you and I have had the conversation where women try to be so many things at once, and also some niggas. It's like, you gotta sometimes pick a lane for the time of your life. It's not always like, obviously you just went through your life and was like, I did this, I did this.
Yeah.
And even if I did a couple at the same time, I wasn't defined by each phase of my life. That's why when you change your name on Instagram, which everybody would know they're in the bio or whatever, but it went from @Bruce the director to Bruce the creator. I'm sure if you wanted to, 7 years ago, before the director, if Instagram was popping, it would have been Bruce the painter or Bruce the artist.
Yeah, it was Bruce Briggs before.
But it could, you could have like unboxed yourself and boxed yourself rather and said, hey, I'm Bruce the painter, or I'm Bruce the drawer, or Bruce the artist, or whatever the fuck you wanted to be. And, nigga said drawer.
That's okay.
But like, you could have done that and it would have been applicable every single time. And then people think that, oh, but you don't draw anymore? Nah, motherfucker, I'm still drawing too, but I'm directing too. I want you niggas to be introduced to this new me. It's like when Hove went from the Reasonable Doubt shit to I'm throwing up the Rock Dynasty shit. I mean, there was levels in between, but we like, nigga, who the fuck is Hove?
But that's the problem. I think that Jay-Z probably lost. He probably gained more new people than he lost. But I know that's once I do shit like that, I know I lose a lot of people. That, oh, I'm not here for that. I was here for the sketches. I don't know, and to speak to like the other half of what I was saying, as far as the Instagram followers went, I wasn't just saying, I had 5,500 followers musically. Meek Mill had the biggest comeback and da-da-da-da. But I dropped down to like where I am now. I don't know, I might have like 1,500 or something like that. Like, it dropped from 55, and like some of that came in with like that little fake bot wave or whatever. When they did that wash, I lost like 1,000 followers because it was fake followers. So I didn't pay for the motherfuckers at all. I
caught that Twitter and Instagram.
Nigga.
Yeah.
That shit was like, damn, I thought I was
kind of cool.
You know what I'm saying?
And again, they're not quantifying by follower, but you like, damn.
Yeah, even then to go from like that to like 4,600, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm still building. People reposting my shit, and I'm having like, for just as many, let's say, imagine, and I mean, this goes without saying, but like you post a picture and let's say you get 100 likes, and you see them likes just start rolling in, and that motherfucker start pinging. Right. I was getting followers like that when people repost my shit. You know what I'm saying? It was peaking for me. But then when I stopped posting about the documentary, the motherfuckers just start falling off. Like people was like merciless and like, you know what I'm saying? And
they're like, oh, there's no reason to proactively follow him.
And so over the 4 years, well, hold on. So I released that in 2014. So over the 5 years, I ended up dwindling down to Well, I mean, because I don't really lose followers anymore.
But at that point in time, do you think that was important enough to like unfollow a nigga?
I mean, honestly, I think that is dope because that's what I love about Instagram. It's like whatever you don't want to see in your news feed, you could get rid of that shit. You know what I mean? And it's less of a fallout than like Facebook where you might offend somebody or some shit like that. Because following is like a two-way street. Like Facebook, when you friends with somebody, you unfriend them. Like I know they got like, I ain't been on Facebook in years, but I know they got like different options now where you can mute somebody or whatever the fuck.
But
like
mute, follow, and you're still friends either way. But like if you want to mute and not see their post, they can still see your shit and interact with you, and you won't see their post. Or you can follow them without being their friends, so you can still see their post.
Right.
But not have to.
I hate that shit about Facebook. I just rather just like if I don't want to, then this is the thing. I follow some people that don't follow me back, and I'm not butthurt about it. Like some people unfollow me that I still want to follow because I think they post cool shit. I'm not butthurt about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just part of the game. I think that it's dope that there's that type of a freedom, you know what I mean, and being able to do what you want to do on that platform. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But I think it's people like us who are insensitive about. I don't say I guess sensitive. Like we don't get sensitive about people unfollowing us.
Yeah.
We like. Bitch, I still like.
No, don't get me wrong.
I still like your pictures.
Yeah, there are some people though that I will definitely unfollow once I found out they unfollow me. So I'm like, well, shit, I was just kind of following you as a courtesy. Like I'm still shallow as fuck with it too.
Well, it's like I had nothing. I was like, I have cousins who don't post. And I'm like, I'm about to unfollow you because you're a waste of my follow. And I'm like, I don't care. But I'm like, my nigga, I'm following you. My number looks trash. I mean, this is me with being fucking goofy, but it's like, why am I following 18 people who've never posted a picture?
I also too, there's been a couple times where. You know me, I get wild in my posts and shit like that. I know people will unfollow me for certain shit that I post, and then they'll try to follow me back. And this is, and I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, you can follow me, but I'm not following you back. And then,
nigga,
it used to be bad on Facebook because I was like wild with the statuses for a minute, and there was this one girl in particular that I knew like she unfollowed me like when I posted something, and I don't remember what exactly it was for, but I know what kind of person she was. And shout out to you if you know who you are. But I think she was just following to be nosy. When she seen that I was a little too much, she unfollowed me. But then like she would hit me with the follow request. So now you could like delete a follow request and then refollow. Like that motherfucker will repopulate like once every 3 weeks or some shit like that.
Decline it?
I would decline that motherfucker, every man. I would decline it. And I eventually just started like letting it sit there, but I would just decline it. Cause I'm like, you unfollow me. Like I'm not about to play this game with you. Or not unfollow me, but you unfriended me. So like I'm not about to play that game. Like you unfriended me. Like it's a wrap.
I know that's me being on my level of petty and stupid like that. But if I get something out of you, like now we have private accounts. And I don't know if this has always been a thing, but private accounts is like basically if you unfollow me, or if you block me for a second and you make me unfollow you, my nigga, that means you don't want me to see your stuff.
Yeah.
Which is okay. And if it means you also don't want to see my stuff. Now, if you decide 3 weeks later, we had a miscommunication, or I just posted one thing that I offended you with, and you didn't mean to take it too personal, but you did, and you follow me back, that's cool. I guess you follow me again. What we are not going to do is think that I give a fuck about what you post now. And I don't care what you think about what I post, because obviously you got in your feelings one time and was very impulsive and said, oh, I'm out of here. And you slammed the door on your way out. And then you realize, oh, fuck, I forgot my keys. You can come get your keys, but don't think you're allowed to come back in this bitch.
Right, just because you came back in for that purpose.
No like, oh yeah, you got your keys, go. Yeah. Oh, you don't want me to stay? No, you're good. Take your keys and leave. So, and it's interesting because I think you and I are both really open-minded about what people like. We are entertained for some reason. Like I like some people because they have cool kids, and I'm like, oh, this kid's funny. Likes their kid's picture, whatever. Or if somebody posts memes, they post memes. Or if they have something they speak about or something dope art, whatever it is. I'm cool that if you hate me in real life and I still like your art, I'm like, nigga, I'm probably still gonna follow you.
Yeah.
I hated Meek Mill on Instagram for 2 years. I unfollowed the nigga and I was just like, why did you unfollow the nigga?
Yeah.
And I was like, because I didn't want to see his captions. I'm okay with this. Meek Mill still makes great music sometimes. It's just I didn't want to see the nigga brag on Instagram. And he was like, oh no, I'm not bragging. I'm just letting people know who like me that you can come. And I feel like he was bullshitting into stunting. Basically like
it's a couple niggas here in Omaha that do that shit.
And I'd be like, you niggas, I'm humble with this shit, but I'm like, I just want to let y'all know y'all
try
can
to
do
put
it
life
too.
lessons behind this shit. Nah, nigga, you stunting like a motherfucker,
you threw
dog.
$13,000 on strippers and you won't tell me that wasn't stunting?
Yeah.
You broke niggas ain't got it like I got it now. You gotta work and grind and get hard. I'm like, that's cool, but all you did is shit on me. Like I hated when I used to listen to 2 Chainz and niggas say my belt cost $400. I'm like, my nigga, my shoes I got the Air Force One low tops. I'm mad about the 84 I just spent.
Yeah.
And you out here bragging about your
Because this
belt.
motherfucker's gonna crease up in
Yeah,
3
nigga,
days.
it's a long summer.
Yeah.
So it's a long summer. But to think that I was okay with unfollowing Meek Mill and still being a fan of Meek Mill. I just don't want to see niggas' Instagram posts. Like, and me, you know, I'm wildly
We could do a whole episode on stunting.
facts. But like, I'm wildly problematic because I defend myself if people fuck with me. What I don't do is typically incite the riot. People like to, like, I don't instigate. Like, somebody posts something I don't like, I'm just like, go by. I might laugh about it, talk about it with my friends, like, this is goofy shit right here. What I'm not going to do is come disrupt your aura of where you're at. On Instagram.
Right.
So under your picture, I'm not going to put, this
try
is
to
a
steal
stupid
your way,
picture.
dude.
Not gonna steal your
I tell you, like, that shit happened to me, and that was another reason why I got off Facebook. Was I would post a stat.
It happened again.
What I'm about to say,
Same exact person did that to somebody else, and I meant to tell you about it.
What?
The person we were talking about he did it to you on Instagram one day. Coffee. That person did it to another person literally, and I was like, "Yo,
are you serious?
Niggas love hijacking somebody's shit."
That's mind
That's
boggling to
literally
me.
like
you know,
a bunch of bitches being in a circle, and you like, I'm about to go be their friend because the bitches is bad, and I'm
Yeah.
bad too. Let me go stand in the circle with these bitches at the table and act like I'm one of them.
you know what I think it is. I was thinking about that shit the other day, and what I related to is other people on like celebrities' posts. Or do you remember? I had got into it with the nigga on the Don Diva page.
Yeah.
Shit like that, where ain't nobody paying attention to you on your platform. So you figure if you go over here
To a bigger
and you
platform.
say to this bigger platform, you get your nuts off. You get like, okay, I'm gonna say this over here because I know people gonna be paying attention to me over here. They're more likely to pay attention to me over here. It's even more weird when it's like you don't like. It's weird when you don't know the person, but it's even more weird if like y'all from the same community or some shit.
Go
Like
to a certain nigga party.
yeah, and then you know what I'm saying. You
all of a sudden
you
you
hear
do something at the certain nigga party.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
Oh, if it wasn't him, this wouldn't be the same.
you don't never be dancing like this shit at your crib. Like you, what the fuck you dancing like that here for? Like you know what I'm saying.
Together, not at the other
Yeah.
party, but now that this is the party of the year.
Nigga want to come down the stairs hitting the Dougie and shit. Like you don't act like this, dog.
Nigga
Like
got
but you
grill in
think
his
you.
mouth with the shades on doing wild dance
Yeah.
we've never seen before.
Nothing.
It's a whole other person.
So
But that's
nah,
exactly what it's like on Facebook when a nigga will. It's a lit ass post, 42 shares. Nigga dropped a quick comment.
Yeah. On the contrary,
That's
contrary.
crazy. I had a situation just like this, so you know I know.
Yeah.
My nigga,
Not even- I would say
post that shit on
even-
your wall.
Even like deeper than that, there was this dude. You know what I'm saying? I kind of, you know what I'm saying, got a little respect for him. You know what I'm saying? He just a smart guy. But one time I posted something introspective and, you know, lofty and, you know what I'm saying, quote worthy and shit. And he came onto my shit and was like, actually, blah, 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 blah. And just started like, and he put a whole status update under my status update. I'm like, nigga, why didn't you put this on your page, dog? Like,
What people should
this
say,
ain't.
what's on your mind? If it's on your mind, put it up here, my nigga.
Yeah,
Don't put it in
like,
my comments. It says
don't-
comments.
This is mine. You know what I'm saying? Like you could either like I don't know.
Because you're you and he's him. He's like, you know what? If I'm the contrarian to a him,
Yeah.
it's like somebody who's coming for, what is it, like a T.I. going for Kodak Black. Not saying T.I.'s not relevant anymore, but it's like, hey, we see you're the first nigga to jump on this. We're going to like, oh shit, what is he talking about? Oh, he's over here talking about the shit Kodak just said. Whatever it is, but it's like, because at this moment, what you're saying holds more weight. Let me come either add an anecdote to it or a footnote or something. And it's like, yo, I'm gonna get more views by posting my comment under his status than I would get on my own status.
I'm the nigga that got 54 likes on the Shade Room shit because I said something like this and blah blah blah.
Listen,
I'm
I was
arguing
like,
with a
the nigga
celebrity.
probably
Like,
has
okay, cool.
500 Facebook friends where you might have had 2,000. He's like, damn, I got like 3 likes on my post when I posted this
Right.
shit. If I put it in his comments,
I
this
might
nigga's
get-
post
yeah.
already
It's cloud
had
chasing in a
It's before,
sense,
like,
right?
but because you haven't been on Facebook for years, niggas thought it was, no, I'm just having a conversation. Nah,
Right.
nigga, I'll
Nah.
fight you.
And then on top of that, we don't ever hang out. We don't inbox.
That's what I
none of
said
that
is-
shit. You come out of left
what
field out
was
of
our favorite
nowhere,
line?
and like the little distant respect that I
Niggas
had for
would've
you
never said it
went out the window for that bullshit.
to your face.
Not
And
at all.
you
Not at
said,
all.
Yo, so this
He would've been
crazy.
wild.
Drop status. Nigga be like, oh yeah, that's what's up. Nigga wouldn't have dropped these 59, lines of bullshit.
Yeah.
But because he was like, I'm on the toilet right now and I'm bored, and this nigga got a lot of friends. Let me act like I'm gonna sound smart
Exactly.
so I can. Get
Like
my
he wouldn't have
shots
been
up
a
too.
wild wallflower in the room when I'm having this
No,
conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But again, we're gonna see. Like, we have a podcast. We've had at least 13 motherfuckers be like, yo, I want to come to the podcast.
Yeah.
Act like it.
Yeah.
So when you sit in here and we're doing this goofy shit and we're talking about buttholes and
Mm-hmm.
philosophies and biographies, we got everything
Right.
going on. You're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna be stupid like this. No, we stupid.
Yep.
But that's why I think it's like
Retard.
it's dope because we are aware, self-aware. Like, I'm going to post some shit not everyone's gonna like it. We don't care if people don't like it. People care that they don't like it, and they want us to tell us this. We're the niggas like, yo.
They don't just want to tell us though. They want to tell other people on our platform.
You know what it is? That's exactly what it is.
Cause ain't nobody on their shit gonna listen.
There's cameras. There's camera here. You're a tall nigga. If a nigga saw you out in the public and you were saying whatever the fuck you said underneath Instagram in the same pose you had on Instagram, if a nigga disagreed, they not gonna steal on you.
I don't think so.
They not gonna steal on you.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? Let me reevaluate my life. But because we're here on the gram, you know what I can do? I can talk this shit because guess what? There's nothing that's gonna happen to you.
Yeah, and I think there's a big disconnect between fantasy and reality, and a level of comfortability that the internet provides in this digital age where people think that they can't get touched.
Oh, hashtag it's just the internet. It ain't just
nah.
The internet. Nigga, if we are past
I think you, if I could speak
yeah.
about it, not to snitch on you, but you had a situation recently where, you know what I'm saying?
Wait,
like,
which one?
the,
no, it don't matter. Shit. Hey, I can fight. It's all right.
It was, you know what I'm saying? Me and you bumped into somebody that you had like some internet beef with, like back in the day. And
Man,
you
I'm
like,
mad
you know
as
what
a
I'm saying?
motherfucker about that. Nigga,
Yeah,
you right.
you was like,
Yeah,
hey, should I steal on a nigga right now? Would I be a bitch if I brought it up? I'm like, how many years has it been? You like 6 years. I'm like, well, hey, you know, statute of limitations is 7 years on a crime.
6 years, bro. It was like 8 years. But no,
it was 8?
It's 8 years because it was 2000.
So you got to give him the real nigga buffer. Because if like...
But I was taking my pussy. I was like, yo, he told me this when he saw me. I haven't seen the nigga.
Yeah.
And I just saw the nigga. He might not remember what he said. Am I a bitch ass nigga if I ask him, you remember what you said?
See, I think it's got to be a statute of limitations though, because just like warrants drop off like after 7 years. Or yeah, I think it's 7 years. You got
warrants do?
Yeah. Seven after 7 years, like a warrant will drop off.
I might be good now.
Don't quote me on. I don't know if it differs from state to state.
Just in state, sorry.
I am not a lawyer. Like Harvey be like, I'm a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer.
But I think warrants and like shit on your credit report drop off after 7 years. Might have to Google that shit. Fact check me.
Okay.
Let me know in the comments if it ain't what it is.
Call it stupid. Like, you stupid nigga, you don't know what you're talking about.
Let's just say credit wise, like 7 years shit drops off, right?
Right.
If you got a real nigga credit report and you haven't even got a notice from a bill collector in these 7 years or whatever, in like 6 years, but then you know that shit dropped off of your shit in 7 years. You kind of got to give him a pass because it was so long ago, unless he renews it. But at the same time, you got to take a man at his word at the end of the day, and you got to be ready to fight this motherfucker.
Right.
Especially if they doing something like throwing, you know, say shadow boxing or some shit. Like,
that's a
you
fucking
gotta
fact.
be.
I'm like,
you can't turn your back to the motherfucker either, because
shit.
he might not even recognize you because you're a totally different nigga than you are. You know that you were 8-9 years ago.
I just got a stupid memory, and it's perfect.
I'm saying physically, like you look completely different than you did 9 years ago. So he might not even recognize you.
You're right.
I think, you know how we always say, like, we the same nigga. I think this is where we different niggas, because I'm the type of person, I would say something, but I know that if I told you to say something, you gonna say what you gonna say. You're not gonna say what I would say. So I was like, no, man, let him nigga breathe. Let him live.
I ain't gonna say that like
But like, if I said something in that situation,
what would you say?
If I was you, I would say what you said. But if I was me in that situation,
what would you say?
I would have been like, hey, let me holler at you, man. And he'd be like, oh, what's up? And I would have took him out of the sauna, because like temperatures would flare. Like, you know, say, okay. Like, no pun intended, but like pun intended. Temperatures are rising, that motherfucker, you probably end up being way more likely to fight because it's hot. And I think that that's kind of something that goes together, like, you know what I'm saying, bread and ham sandwiches. Niggas is going to fight when it get hot. So take him out of the sauna. And I would tell him, listen, I pride myself on being a man of my word. And I hold myself to a standard that I hold other people to. I know that a lot of times people don't say what they mean, but I feel like I'm always going to do exactly what I say I'm going to do. And I try to on some 4 agreements type shit, be impeccable with your word. So I would expect that you are too. I don't know if you remember me. My name is so-and-so. The last time we had an interaction, you said that you was going to break my jaw. I want to know if you still feel the same way. And I would leave dead air to let the nigga talk.
And then that would get.
If he said, what's up, we could whoop through it. Because I would bring it to him wild cordial, and I'll say, this is where I am in life. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to know how we gonna carry it, because you said this, and as a man, I got to take you at your word. I'm not gonna come in here start no shit, but I want to know if you really meant that, and if it carries over for 8 years. I would ask him that, like that, in that way, and that way you can have an articulate boxing match. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, then at that point, the nigga ain't got time to, you know what I'm saying, take his gloves off, advantage you, bare knuckle.
Okay, so boom. So question. There's 2 questions. First of all, I need to know, like, do you think by me bringing this up at all would incite old emotion? Like, he might have forgot.
It might, but then even then, like, shit, what's stopping him from remembering on his own next Tuesday?
I'm saying,
Like,
like,
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
hey, I'm like, boom. So remember this? And he like, I didn't, but now that you say it, yeah, you bitch ass nigga. So I'm like, oh, here we are. Am I a bitch ass nigga for making a nigga more emotional about some shit that he didn't even remember?
Not at all. But
Okay.
it's all in your approach. Because I know you feel like I put the battery in your back. You're like, oh, I gotta fight the nigga next time I see him.
No,
Because
I'm just
then
asking,
it's
I'm
other
just
things
asking.
too at play. Because you don't want to like fuck around, lose your gym membership or no shit like that either. Like, because
It's my favorite.
your,
thing to
your,
ask.
your face is on the wall up there. But I don't know if they gonna let you fight because of that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna get no passes
Yeah.
on.
Even then, like, you might win in the trial of Genesis Health Clubs because a nigga already had boxing gloves on. You could be like, he tried to fight me. You know, saying some shit like that. Like,
Nigga,
but
he hit me in the back of the head in the song.
no, I think that it's all about the way that you approach it and the way that you preface it. Because if you're like, hey, remember when you tried to fight? Like, you said you was gonna whoop to. I think that's the wrong way.
So what do you think I would
that
say?
would be
See how I
way
said
more
that?
incendiary?
Incendiary. Designed to cause fires, as in incendiary grenades. Tending to stir up conflict, as in incendiary rhetoric or an incendiary slogan. Very exciting, as in an incendiary live performer.
Like, just trying to just come out like, hey, remember when you said whoop-de-woo? Like, if you said, hey, listen, I pride myself on being a man of my word, and I hold people to the same standard as I hold myself. And I don't know if you are a man of your word, but I have to think that you are. And in that case and scenario that you are a man of your word, 8 years ago, you said that you was going to break my jaw on the internet. You might not remember me. My name is Boom Boom Boom. I want to know if you still feel the same way.
You don't think I can do that?
I think you can, but I feel like
I mean, I don't think I can do it. I'm just going to lie to myself.
I think you can.
I
But
I would have to really have
one
this
thing I
talk
know about
before
you-
we did it. I would have
I know,
to
right?
talk like, yeah, so, hey, my nigga, just go heat check the nigga.
I had to have you in the corner, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, prepping you like a boxer or
Like, yo,
shit.
so my nigga, we're going to go out here, right?
Yeah.
And you just don't come up with too much energy. Because it's going to end up being like, oh, why would you come up for the nigga? You ain't say nothing to him.
Yeah.
Because Bruce ain't let me say nothing to him.
I didn't.
That's what it was.
I
I'ma
definitely
go with
diffused
that.
the situation.
He was like, hey, my nigga,
I
let
was like,
go.
nah.
And he's a good friend because I'm stupid. And I probably would have been like, hey, my nigga, remember you said this? Yeah, so what? So you should try to fight or no, my nigga? Like, you ain't break my jaw. That's exactly what I would say. Like, why didn't you break my jaw then? Oh, because I forgot. Well, now you ain't forget.
Yeah.
Do it. And then we would have probably met outside. And it would have been stupid, but I just wonder because I know a friend of mine, a very good friend of me, says, hey, do you want to be happy or you want to be right? I'm huge on being right. When I'm right. I'm not always right. But when it lends to me, like, proving a point to my values and my principles, I'm like, look here. I stand tall on my principles, and it's being a real nigga. What you're not doing is, to my standard, not being a real nigga by pretending that you didn't say what you said in 2011.
Right.
So I'm just like, if the nigga would have been like, yeah, I did say that, and I still do it, I'll ask him like, oh, so you plan on doing that? Like, we would figure it out right then, and I'm like, I might have to hit you right now because I don't want you to hit me first because you just told me you still gonna break my jaw. Whatever. But at least for the sake of us communicating a little bit, I probably would have agitated the nigga with my question. So I knew what you were doing. You were like, hey, nigga, no, because how you gonna ask the nigga is, it's not even the question that you should be asking. You gonna ask in a way where it's like, hey, my nigga, you kind of being a bitch ass nigga because you ain't hit me in my jaw and you been in here shadow
Right.
boxing for
Just
5
be wild
minutes.
antagonistic.
That's pretty much, but I'm not that guy. But the thing is, I always say I'm a reactionary. I'm reacting to a nigga 2011.
Yeah.
He still hit me first, and you were like, nah, my nigga. He said he was gonna break your jaw. You got mad about it. Nothing ever happened for 8 years. I'm like, yeah, but he stole on me first.
Yeah.
Like, he started the shit, and then I was trying to like respond to it. I'm just trying to respond to the shit 9 years later.
Yeah.
And excuse me, you're like, nah, nigga, 9 years is too long to respond. My nigga, you kind of like the voicemail message has been deleted. You can't respond to some shit that's old. But it was dope to have you there because I know we're two. This is where, again, we differ in opinion, but it's dope because had I been alone, probably would have fought, lost my gym membership, and fought a fight that was 7 years immature or 8 years immature.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, y'all, what was y'all fighting over? A nigga fake threatening me over his baby mama because she was getting advice from me that made sense, and I'm a rational male.
Which is crazy. We could do a whole episode on checking your bitch.
Please control your
We
hormones.
really could because, like, it's all about her. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You gonna fight everybody?
Nigga, the world. I was like, every chick that she like, but again, I understand where he was coming from, but he was mad at the wrong person.
Yeah, no question.
And I was like,
no
nigga, I
question.
understand, like,
You're a representative of
he
an
was-
idea. You're not.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a representative of, hey, your girl has real friends who care about her.
You know Baker's on 52nd Street on Ames, 52nd and Ames.
yeah.
You know how they tore that traffic light down?
Wait, nigga.
So it's
the
like by
Baker's
the
Place,
bank,
the
by
Baker's
first,
Place.
yeah,
Why
by.
you still call it Baker's, nigga? It's
Why did I say
Walmart.
Baker's?
It's
It is Walmart.
Walmart.
But see, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In my and it proves my point that like in my mind, I didn't even do that shit on purpose. It's still Baker's.
It's still Baker's over there.
Baker's Plaza or place or whatever.
Baker's Place, yeah.
But
Baker's
remember,
Place.
the whole reason I was even gonna make this analogy was like there used to be a stoplight there, like right where First National Bank is now, that like little dip street. I think it's actually
The one that
52nd
goes
Street.
down. The one that goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be a stoplight there. They removed that stoplight. Yesterday, you know what I'm saying, I was over in the neighborhood and I'm sitting at that stop sign feeling like I don't know how to fucking cross the street. I had wild time to get into the traffic waiting for cars to come, but I'm like still thinking that I'm relying on a light. So you talking about you have the green light. That intersection has totally changed now. You still at that intersection like,
That's why I got smart friends, man. That's stupid.
you know what I mean? You like, man, I should just run this red light. But you like, it ain't no red light to run. You got a stop
Right,
sign now,
right.
so you can move how you want to. Now, if you decide to treat it like that intersection still got it, like you can, but it's still gonna be like, what for? It's not the same situation at all. It's not the same scenario. Even though in your mind it still is, because we grew up having that same, like having that view of that area. You know?
You know what? I'm gonna just transition this because I want to be the bad guy. What about that time with the Beamer though?
Oh,
I'm just fucking with you. No, this is gonna be a fuck nigga.
listen, that was different.
That was different.
Because I mean, I think it would like. There's a difference between the type of nigga that'll get mad because his girl is hitting you up, and then the type of nigga that tries to get close to women by being close to their kids.
Fuck nigga. That was so funny to me. My
No,
bad.
it's all good.
That was funny,
Because I
though.
actually wanted to figure out a way to talk about this in this podcast. Not that, but like there's
Yeah, no,
a
that's
certain
cool.
type. Okay.
Wait, it's another bitch ass nigga.
No.
I know you
The
said
idea- no,
wait,
just
wait,
switching
wait,
gears.
wait. Is he a bitch ass nigga right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a
You
bitch
know what I'm
ass
saying?
nigga.
And then
Hey,
my senior
I
after that, he
nigga.
didn't want no smoke with me either. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
see, you
it's like,
started up the
you're
cheek.
gay. But talking about nigga lucky. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, when I seen him, I guess I was still lucky because he didn't say shit to me. But that's a whole nother story, man. But like, what I wanted to like talk about too is like the idea of, and it's probably like the last topic we could hit was, you know what I'm saying, going on time to get out of here.
Yeah.
But probably like 5 minutes stuff, I think. The idea of fuck nigga. You said we got a 5? 6.
Yeah.
You got till 6?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
$5.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So never mind. So okay. So we could probably dig into this a little bit
so
deeper.
please unpack.
The idea of the fuck nigga or fuck boy, right? I think that there's a misconception on the definition of one. I'm not here to try to define it today, but what I'm gonna say is what I feel like what my idea of one is. Like we joke around, we call each other fuck boys all the time, right? Or fuck niggas, whatever you want to say. But we talk about like us just being like having womanizer backgrounds and you know what I'm saying, and or it's just me. Okay, well I have like a background as like a
I don't know what that
womanizer.
term actually means, but I see what you're going at. But I'm not gonna put that.
But I would say if I had to write it, I would say I would paint myself as a hopeless romantic. It wouldn't be like a womanizer, and it just happened to be that like I got like my heart broke a few times, and then like I just was able to just
But you know
rotate
what? We'll use that
or move
term
around
because
and then be painted as a womanizer. So I kind of embraced the title now.
because we know that from our perspective, what it means is like me. I like conversation.
Yeah.
And people think, oh, well, your conversation is going to lead to no. I just want a good conversation.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to go anywhere. If it goes somewhere after that, you're like, oh my god, you trying to finesse me.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I like talking.
Yeah.
We've been talking for
Exactly.
time now.
Exactly.
So,
But
yeah,
that you
So I'll be a
could get
womanizer.
falsely painted as a fuckboy for that, right?
I'll go with that, yeah.
I could get falsely painted as a fuckboy for having a philosophy of going with the flow. Let's just go with the flow to see where this goes. And then most women are like, oh, that's fuckboy, blah, 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 whatever.
Right. That's the narrative.
I don't think that that's what that is. What I think a fuckboy is a nigga that'll try to get close to like a woman, a single mom, by trying to be cool with their kids. Try to get some pussy by giving the kid some clothes or something. You know what I'm saying? That's some fuckboy shit right there. Like that.
That's the one.
You're not really trying to be no goddamn stepdaddy, nigga. You trying to get some ass, and now this is how you think you gonna get it.
And you can't get mad. Can you really be mad at the nigga who's like, I'm using my only resource to get some pussy?
I honestly know because I could only speak on my experience, and I've never done that shit.
That's
I've
because
never done. I'm
it's
the
so
type of person.
unrelatable.
I'm
It's like
scared
getting your ass
to.
played with.
It is. It's the same. It's the same
why is
boat.
he
He
doing
probably
this?
get his ass
I don't
played with.
have
He's
to
probably
do-
the same type of nigga.
I don't have to do this to get vagina, so why are you? And you're
Yeah.
like, we're different people.
There's been situations where I've been in where like kids have been involved, I dated women with kids before, and I've always been raised with the philosophy that like if you're gonna date a woman, you definitely date her kids. Like it just could potentially be a situation where y'all end up married, and you know what I'm saying, in a whole Brady Bunch situation. So I never looked at it as like, oh, I gotta be cool with the kids.
Right.
I've looked at it as like, I don't want to meet your kids until no, not even trying to be
no,
funny.
that's
I don't even
true,
want to meet
though.
your kids until like we determine that this is what this is. If it is that,
Because otherwise, I'm a fuckboy. If
right?
I meet your kids,
but not only
other guys
that,
are
if I
nothing.
meet your kids, I know I'm gonna get attached. I love kids, so it's got to be at least that serious for me,
Right.
to proceed. And then if I meet your kids, and it's like, okay, we really thinking about
Alright, so
like
wait.
forming a family.
So hold that, just hold that as a sticky note.
Mm-hmm.
I have kids, and my kids are fucking cool. They go everywhere with me. Everybody can know my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference between knowing the kids and getting to like intimately get to know them?
100%.
Okay.
When you have people coming into the house, into an intimate setting with
Right,
your
right,
kids,
right.
like or y'all, even if y'all just eat dinner every night at Pepper Jack's, and that's y'all little like family time, father and son family time,
Right.
to invite somebody into an intimate environment where you and your kids usually dwell in this like father and son's time,
Right.
like that is where like you have to kind of draw the line or kind of dissect it, because just having your kids out and then like having
Niggas
them
mingle.
casually acquainted, like you know what I mean, you can have your sons around like 45 women incidentally going to go get coffee and going to the gym every day, and they're like, oh, these are cute babies and blah blah blah. But then when you bring them into the home and you introduce them into a different dynamic, I think that's where the situations defer to you. So yeah,
That's where the fuck boys add up. We're like, oh,
yeah,
my
yeah,
neighbors
yeah.
play
Oh yeah,
video
come
games together.
exactly.
Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. So, by definition, by one of the fuck boys, a very broad term that we know. It's probably got 46 different Urban Dictionary definitions. The one we're gonna say right now is
Lying to get pussy, or trying to befriend people collaterally to get pussy, like those kind of things. Putting on any type of a facade to get vagina.
just to get pussy. And I like what you did with the first part, because lying to get pussy. Women and men, whatever floats your boats, when talking to a man, we know that lies are not lies unless you misinterpreted them with an expectation of them being the truth about something else. If
100%.
I'm telling you the truth and how I say it, it's the truth when I say it.
Exactly. And
So-
to piggyback onto that, or to add on to that, that means that if a situation is like not as closely defined as the woman would like it to be, and the
Right.
man is like, yo, yeah, me and my girl, we kind of on a break, and y'all have been having some problems, and you interpret it as y'all are 100% broke up and whoop-de-whoop, that shit is on you. That don't make me a fuck boy or
That's
fuck
the
nigga,
irony
because
is both of those are truths. Like, you're like, oh, they
Right.
said they weren't together. Yeah. And I said we weren't together. Yeah. Does that mean there's no possibility I can get back with the girl? No.
Right.
But at the same time, you said, no, you said y'all was on a break.
Never said that.
Motherfucker. I said I was on a break. Never said I was
yeah,
completely severed.
yeah.
So it's like,
so it's the interpretation versus the.
but the thing is, they want to interpret it as a lie. I'm like, no, I didn't lie. And again, I'm a nigga who plays with semantics and do the mental gymnastics thing. So it's like, I'm huge on verbiage usage. So
Yeah.
when you said back to it, mean what you say and say what you mean.
Yeah.
Nigga can be like mad and be like, you know what? I didn't really mean I was going to break your jaw. I just meant that you was going to have to holler at me when you see me. Could have said that. Again, but instead you chose to say break your jaw.
yeah.
So now I have to take it as a threat.
Yeah,
Physical
exactly.
harm. Like, now,
be
if
impeccable
you
with
get
your
shot,
word.
it's your
Yeah,
fault.
you ain't ready for agreements, nigga.
Yeah. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, so if you tell a woman, hey, yeah, well, I used to deal with, okay, perfect analogy, because, or comparison rather, like, I know a woman, she was like, I used to deal with him. I don't know what the fuck deal means. It's like when niggas say, I used to talk to her.
They used
I
to
talk.
smash on the low. That's what
Yeah.
that is.
And see, so women's like, oh, I used to deal with him. I'm like, what that mean? Oh, like, well, we either had a relationship, we were messing around, or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's
Now,
a super soft sell.
Nigga,
I've never heard that before.
I heard the deal. I said, what the fuck is this deal? When we used to
What the
deal.
fuck is the deal?
I said, what the fuck is the deal? When we used to deal, I'm like, y'all shuffling the cards?
Yeah.
What's going on? I'm confused.
He used to deal this dick. That's
That's a
all
fact,
it
that's a
is.
fact.
Yeah.
I was like, yo. Oh, so you just want to downplay the fact that you was taking dick from a nigga that wasn't your nigga.
Basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you don't want, it's not a lie. Cool. So when I say, oh man, we used to have some deals, blah, blah, what that mean? Oh, we used to FaceTime and shit. She'll pull up on me here and there.
Yeah.
Niggas might eat. Oh, y'all were fuck? No. My
And
deal
it's,
and your deal, two totally
no
different deals.
question, because we would never use the verbiage.
Ever.
Never. But if I said I used to deal with somebody, I'd be like, well, we was probably like about to do some business together or some shit.
Exactly.
Like it wouldn't be no, oh,
It's
you
almost
used to fuck on the low.
person specific. Like, nigga, I got a cousin. Chick I started dealing with. He was like, oh, I used to talk to her. I was like, oh, word? Boom. So, I mean, like, I didn't want this shit to be awkward with her. She's like, oh, yeah, I think I know your cousin. Blah, blah. I was like, oh, boom. Like, y'all used to, like, talk or anything? She's like, no. I mean, the nigga had my number. Like, he texted me a few times. I'm trying to figure out what's the lie. I'm like, so did this nigga lie to me? He technically told the truth. We used to talk.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, we used to literally talk via
Yeah.
text. So she could even say like, oh, we texted a few times. And he was like, no, we used to talk. And I'm like, if you ask a woman, hey, did y'all used to talk? She'd be like, yeah, we was like in this little like situationship
Yeah.
for 3 years. I'm like, damn.
But then still, even then, like, what does talking mean? Because some people say talk, smash, but y'all wasn't in a committed relationship.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Some
like-
people say dating is just going on dates, but other people think it's casual sex. Like, dude.
My nigga, let's get on this dating thing.
So, okay,
the
so
verbiage
go
of
ahead.
dating is
Yeah.
the stupidest fucking
It really
thing.
is. Sorry, I'm
Because-
not interested in dating. Like,
I
like,
heard a woman
it's-
say like a nigga got a girl and they just be fucking on the low. Oh, I'm about to go on a date. So what does dating mean?
Yeah.
If you're dating me, what does that mean? We are dating each other as
yeah.
boyfriend and girlfriend.
Dating and going on a date are two totally different things. I do know that, but
going
it's
on
so
a date
fucked
is
up.
technically what? Dating.
It is.
if you're
It is technically
when they say
dating.
we're dating, oh, I'm looking for a boyfriend.
I'm
or
trying
girlfriend.
you out, but I might have 3 or 4 other people that I'm
Exactly.
dating.
So I'm about to go on a date. Why? Because I'm not committed to you in
Yeah.
this relationship we're in. That's not a full relationship yet.
Yeah.
So are me and you dating? Yeah, we're dating. But I'm also dating 4 other niggas who are trying to play for your spot. And I'm just like, but when I'm dating, you are my exclusive girlfriend.
Yeah. Think about how stupid that shit sound. Because like if you wouldn't say I'm driving, I'm going on a drive, and going on a drive is not the same
Fucking
as
facts.
going on driving. So it's like, why would we separate the two?
Because it plays for the woman's.
Whatever
I don't
the
look
fuck
like-
whatever
I don't
narrative they
look
wanted
like
to fit
a
at the
fuckboy
time.
as a woman, it's like whatever that version is.
Whatever they wanted to fit at the time is what it means. It's like
And
that
yes,
is,
they will bend and warp the narrative to
Yeah.
fit what they're doing at their time. And excuse me, so it's like, oh, we're dating, cool, but it doesn't mean we're exclusively dating. Oh, so now we got to add an adjective to this
Yep.
shit to make it special. Oh, it has to be exclusive dating.
Yeah.
That means it's just me and you. So when you're just dating, you're like, I'm out here looking for someone to marry. What?
that's
That's
a
fucking goofy.
Jump the
Why?
shark.
So it's like, oh, well, typically my goal is to get married one day and have a family. If I'm dating, I'm out here on the dating scene to try to find a husband. But then it's like, oh, well, me and you are dating. So how many motherfuckers you gonna date at once? And how many
Yeah.
niggas are you really trying to suit into being your husband if this is the verbiage you're using? Because if you tell me, oh yeah, me and you are dating, does that mean you and I go out once a month over the next 5 months? But other niggas can do it too? Because then I
Basically.
gotta fuck your sister because you just
Yeah,
pissed me off, 'cause
I'm
you-
taking myself out of the running.
Right,
I'm
I'm
not
not
in
about
this
to be in a
race.
rotation.
Yeah.
But it's because
I'm definitely gonna smash one of your
but
homies,
it's
so
the
you could never
difference
come back.
If we're dating, we're probably living life,
Mm-hmm.
going with the flow per se. A woman is like, nah, I'm over here trying to vet to find out how I'm getting to the next level of this ring, and in the meantime, I have to weigh my options.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it is.
So
That's exactly what it is. It's the opportunistic love that we talked about. Like, yeah, I could consider this person, but let me see if somebody else better comes along, maybe with like better dick that trumps all these other categories. But if not, then I'll look at all these other checkpoints and what they bring to the table. And oh yeah, no, I'm not dating this person no more. I'm dating this person. Like, and they're always trying to leverage the fucking cards that are shuffled in this deck that they deal
deal.
They're
obviously
dealing to try to get to a better position
It
in
perfect.
the house of cards because
It's a house of
shit's
cards.
flimsy.
And it probably will come tumbling
Probably,
down because
yep.
you out here putting too many fucking cards up there to deal
Yep,
with.
with one blow.
One blow.
One blow.
But it's interesting because of that. But that whole thing is like when these women are searching for the one per se, it's literally like, would you sabotage or not sabotage one, but would you let one affect the other when you can't even put your all into this one over here? You're
Right.
literally like, I got 5 different moving pieces and I'm trying to figure out which one gets to the top 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, so are you chasing the top or are you chasing the best? Because if you were to stop and look at one, you would probably get more of a quality
Absolutely.
of
Absolutely.
oh, what kind of person is this?
Yeah.
But instead you're spreading yourself thin.
And not only that, a quality experience.
You are
I think that's where
discrediting
people
yourself.
fuck up at, is like not allowing themselves to enjoy the experience of another person instead of always thinking about like the future and this clock that's ticking and all, like enjoying the time that they have with this person. And man, I think back to like all my relationships that I had, and like I done been through a lot of shit in relationships with women, with
Because you're a woman.
for lack of a better term.
Oh wow.
But like in my romantic relationships, I've been through a lot, and I realized that I could be like a real bitter nigga for the shit that I've gone through. But when I think about like how dope those experiences were when things were great with me and these women,
Right.
and all of the like the cities that I've been to, or the fact that I would have never like fucking tried red wine, or I would have never been to certain cities because I had certain false help me out, false expectations or false whatever about these cities. All these different eye-opening experiences that I've had, or just even being around the people themselves who are like in those situations, super dope people without like
Right.
the downfall of the situations or whatever. But even then, the lessons that have come out of the downfalls of those situations have made me into a superior man, in my opinion. You know, if I
It's
say
like
say so myself,
so
like
the circumstances of those relationships don't define like although the relationship may have gone sour, that relationship wasn't sour when it was
Exactly.
good. Like it was good when it was good.
Exactly. And I think that the Western idea of dating, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, will have us say that like if the relationship doesn't end in marriage, that it was a failure.
And nigga, I've
And
learned something from everybody. And
everybody,
and
when you
my
really
favorite
sit
thing
there
is,
and think
I be
about it,
like,
man.
Nigga, everything you taught me, I will text motherfucker 3 years later, like, yo, good looking out.
Yeah,
I
no
still
question.
remember this
And then a lot of
3 years
people take that as sarcasm because they're like, "Oh, thank you for me cheating on you. Fuck you, nigga." Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, nah,
you
it's
thank me for something, but you broke up with me, nigga. That
yeah,
don't mean you're
that
my
don't
everything.
yeah, exactly.
You're not my homie lover.
Just because you can come back in and get the charger don't mean that you got keys to that crib again. You know what I'm saying?
My nigga, you can stop by. You ain't got to all of a sudden get a key back.
Yeah.
But they think like, and that's why I think also from women, I don't have anybody that I've dealt with that I don't like. Dead ass. Like there's nobody
To this day, you mean?
to this
To
day.
this
To
day.
this day. Like I dead ass was like
To this day.
if somebody hates me, it's because they put a false like
Yeah.
ending to this story.
Yeah, no
that
question.
They just don't. They kind of like hypothesize like, yo, we could
Yeah.
do this. If we do this now, it'll end up like this, and the ending is not how they
Yeah,
wrote it.
yeah.
And most women, I think, like, oh, fuck that nigga because he wasn't what I thought he was gonna be.
Right.
Your fault.
100%.
I never said I was gonna be what you thought I was
Yeah,
gonna be.
those are
You just
projections that
explained.
you had.
Because often women think they're gonna change you and mold you into this
Absolutely.
cool ass. Like, oh, there's some clay. Let's
Yeah.
make this wild vase.
This is what he is. What I'm gonna make him into.
And I think that's also like, so I look at that when women say, "Oh, I hate my ex." I'm like, "You love the nigga. I was on Facebook when you was in love with the nigga. How you hate the nigga? Oh, well, he cheated on me. Okay, cool. Boom. He hurt your heart. Did he ruin your fucking life? Yeah, he did. He had the life I had planned for us. He ruined. That's where you
Therein
fucked
lies
up.
the problem.
Nigga, because you had a whole 3-year relationship before the nigga cheated. The shit was fire. All them fucking likes and hashtag relationship goals you niggas had before you deleted them and archived them shits. And when you listening to old ass Babyface songs, you still unarchive them for your own personal pleasure. I get it. I mean, there's the self-loathing, but I'm just saying, hey, don't get mad that there were happy times and you want to really like, because it didn't end all be all, it wasn't a great life. Nigga, that shit was great.
Which proves my point. You should go with the fucking flow. Don't always be so expectant of this beautiful future and all this extra shit. Because if you go with the flow, you would appreciate that motherfucker way more while he was there. And then the day that he leaves is just another day. Because you know this shit ain't gonna last forever. Even
You're a
if you
realist.
bury this person in marriage, like you got to go into every situation thinking like, if we're gonna be together forever, I'm gonna have to bury this other person. If not, the day that we break up is just another day.
And this is crazy. Like, I mean, ironically, I got this shirt on, but I'm the pessimist. I know this. I'm a pessimist. You are like the realist of the world because I know, like, you're like the happy medium. I know a lot of people who are optimistic. Typically, women. I can do this. This will happen. This is how we'll end up. You're like, nah. I got this right here, right now. I'm dealing with this. Me, I'm assuming the worst. They're assuming the best. You're like, I'm assuming this is what it is right now. And I appreciate that because, like, even with that sauna situation, we're like, hey. Right now, this is the reality of the situation.
This night,
Me, I'm making the worst of what could possibly happen. And I'm like, well, worst case scenario, this nigga remember what he said, and now we gotta fight. The same nigga, or optimistically, I could be like, maybe the nigga doesn't remember anything, and maybe he was like, I want to apologize. So I'm not thinking that way. A woman may, because they have highest hopes. We've been together for 3 years. This nigga will fuck up tomorrow. He
Yeah.
can get fired from his job, have a terrible
Yeah.
fucking day, come home, and it'd be the worst night of your lives. And now, that one night, you cannot let dictate everything else y'all built, learn from each other, taught, experience, all that shit. Remember that time he ate your ass? Don't forget how good you felt when he ate your ass. Because
yeah.
apparently,
Or when you let him eat it, since
yeah,
apparently that's what
whenever
you
y'all
into.
69 with assholes or whatever y'all did,
Yeah.
you can't pretend that you didn't love every moment of that shit.
Just 69 and a 00. Yeah.
That's exactly what 6900. That is. so it's one of those. I think it's just the concept of thinking like the ideology of, oh well, if we like women to this day, don't waste my time. Bitch, please waste my time. I'm bored right now. I need somebody to watch movies with, cuddle
But
with,
you know-
and eat food with. I'm not saying waste my time intentionally.
no. I know what you're
but
saying.
it's like I really want something to do right now.
Facts.
And I don't want to not experience what could be great because you niggas is too busy worried about the end of the rainbow. How many times have you made it to the end of the fucking rainbow?
Yeah. And then when you don't waste their time and you tell them the truth, they're mad about that.
It's a lose-lose.
And then they badger you about being mad about it, and you like, go away now. Like but they want to stay
You can be
around.
mad.
Like
Go be mad.
I don't want to waste your
But
time.
it's us. I respect that you're mad about something.
Yeah.
You're not gonna change it. You're still gonna stand here and try to change it.
I
But I,
told
just
you-
think it's fucked up
So
that
you remember, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna even give a nickname, but okay, you take a vow of celibacy,
oh wow.
and that's great.
Yeah.
That's great for you. And then, but you still kind of want to be like half sexual half the time, and incite intercourse, but not follow through with it because you're taking a vow of celibacy, right? And you only want to do certain types of sex acts, but you don't want to engage in actual intercourse. That's fine, but I'm not here for it, right? I kind of want to fuck. If you don't want to fuck, this is where we defer,
We are fine with
right?
this.
Don't be mad at me because I'm not wasting your time acting like I'm cool.
You want me to lie to you? You're right. It's back to that.
Like
They want to be lied to.
They want to be lied to.
Look, why are you?
And
not,
but like I have somebody that's mad at me to this day. Like, and this is like
To this day.
years removed from this situation.
To this day.
Because I didn't stick around because I wasn't patient enough for them because they were celibate. Like that ain't got shit to do
So
with
you want me
it.
to
We're
lie
just
to
two
you?
different people.
It's like your awareness of your honesty. You're like, hey, I know who I am. I know how honest I am. I know how aware I am. And you are not for people wasting your time. So me
Right.
being the real nigga that I am, and I'm going to be honest with you. Hey, you know what? There's a good chance that if we do this, it's going to end up wasting your time. And I know how much you hate wasting your time.
Exactly.
So because I'm this canvas of art
Yeah.
that you think is going to be great when you're done painting it, I'm going to not even let you pull out the brush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know what? Let's not do this because
Yeah.
I assume you think that this is going to be a masterpiece.
Right.
It's not. So let me save your supplies, save your materials, keep your overhead,
Mm-hmm.
take them somewhere else where it's probably a better chance you're going to end up with something that's profitable or valuable, whatever. And they get upset with that.
Kaboom.
So it's like, hey, so which do you want? Do you want me to finesse you out of your time that you can't get back because time is the one thing you can't quantify, and as far as retrieving it, and or do you want me to just like spare you some time so you can go play the you can go deal somewhere
Yeah.
else at a different table.
You know what happens? They take that brush anyway, and instead of painting that canvas, they paint you as the fuck boy.
I like your choice of words.
That's just how it goes. And so you're like, okay, cool. Well,
And
I'll wear the
it's-
title.
But the crazy part is like
I'll be that.
us, our sakes, now the vagina that we may be willing to stick around for or do whatever else for because it's a different circumstance. Now the person who used to have that brush is out here like, hey, wavy magic wand. This nigga's a fuckboy. He wouldn't even wait for me to do this, or he wouldn't acclimate to my desires or fulfill any of my requests when I was over here doing this. And I'm just like, you fucking up my pussy later too? You took your pussy away and the bitches I'm trying to fuck later? Nigga, let them catch this same fade you caught, goddammit. Let them get their time wasted or get this honesty. Shit, it is not
Yeah.
for you to tell everybody that the fucking Popeye sandwich was phenomenal. Let them niggas
Right.
try it for themselves.
Exactly.
Shit, that's what they're here for. But again, girl, you don't want to do that because when I did this, she not you. But then her, women, oh, well, maybe she's right because I kind of want to have a family too. You can't get this dick in the meantime. Just
Right.
take this dick in the meantime.
Right.
I'm fine. Like, I mean, again, we can have a good 18-month run while we're conversing about what's that nigga's name? ASAP Ferg's do-rag tying techniques and do random shit and maybe do some walks in the park and eat at wheat fields and get fire-ass cake. And it end up nowhere.
Yeah.
It was just a good 2-year run or whatever. And then we was like, hey, when you have a husband, everything you learn from me, do that shit on him. And then thank me later through a Cash App message or something or some goofy shit because we know you can't speak to me no more because that nigga's mad at me and doesn't respect our relationship, so he's in my inbox threatening to break my jaw when he see me. But
And that's how I go. I think a lot of women don't respect the fact that a lot of men know their role in their lives.
that's a fact.
Just like Richie Rich, you could ride out with sport coat to get your lobster and crab because all I got is conversation and a gang of stab.
I know what I can offer. There's niggas with Beamers who want to buy your kids clothes, and there's niggas like me who want to have a conversation about the random documentary that just dropped about
Yep.
Travis Scott. So I mean, there's anything. But again, I know who I am. I'm not the nigga who's my first. Hey, I'm broke, baby. I ain't about to buy you shit because I ain't got no money. So it's like there's a nigga out here who's, oh yeah, I just loaned my nigga $5K to start his real estate company. Oh, that's a shade, because that's the same nigga you talked about earlier. I came across a nigga posting about just loan my nigga $5K so he can get his shit started.
That was a post?
You put that on the internet,
Oh
you
my
bitch
God.
nigga? Why would you
that's
do this?
disgusting.
But it's like, but it's not even like, I don't even know a nigga like that.
That's
But it's just like,
disgusting.
I don't even know you and I hate you.
Yeah.
By the great Eve. Like, I don't even understand, like, why would this nigga, like, to each their own.
I would, hey, if you gave me 5 bands to do anything and you posted about it, I'd be like, hey man, you steal my dog, but here, take your money back, G.
My nigga,
it ain't even that deep. I'm sorry, I would give you the money back.
I ain't gonna lie, you know me. Now we can edit this. I'm not gonna edit it, but I literally, somebody was like, "Yo, my nigga, why these niggas be doing shit like this?" I said,
"Stunting." There's a whole episode on stunting. We could do it.
I'm robbing that nigga. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I see that desk, I see the placard. I'm about to pull up and get the 5 bands because this nigga got it on the desk. And nigga, you working?
Oh, he actually had the
my nigga.
He had
that was
it.
the caption.
Oh my God!
It was here. It was a.
That's
snap
egregious.
caption.
That's even worse.
Yes, it was literally about to loan my homie $5,000 so he can start his real estate venture or whatever. And I'm like, so are you here to help your homie or?
Yo, he still his stuff for the gram.
Or you just saying I got 5 bands to loan?
That's all it is.
Because that means you don't value that 5,000.
Yeah,
I pull up and get it.
It might even be I just got 5 bands
right
there in that bag.
Right there in that bag, you got 5K. But it was funny because it was like, first of all, you're doing some stupid shit for the gram. It's cool that you got 5K.
Yeah,
I'm broke. I ain't got 5K.
It's real cool. It's real cool.
I know what you drive.
Yeah.
You got that 5K right there.
Yeah.
And again, we're not on that, but why would you draw that attention?
Mm-hmm. But it's niggas that are though. In a major
I know
way.
Plenty of these niggas.
And I tell like my BGs all the time, like, just stop flashing that cash. Like, you don't think you could get touched. You can't get touched just because like you don't live in these neighborhoods, whatever. Like, niggas see you posting this money. You ain't out of state with like all your followers not living in the same state as you.
You might be fake posting. It might not even your
it might be the internet. It might be the Amazon cash. But you still setting yourself up for fucking failure, and then they find out that money fake. You dead, dog. Like, niggas ain't gonna play no games.
Held at gunpoint for some money you never had. That's
exactly
the goofiest shit in the world. But again, it's like also to your friend. If you know they have a friend, or like say somebody who knows who you are and knows the friend that happens to ironically start a real estate venture 3 days later. Oh, you got that bread from such and such. That nigga don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, not at all.
Nigga,
not at all.
I feel
unless he just as goofy as you.
You know what?
Goofy and it's like shit.
Goofy runs with goofy.
Birds of a feather.
It's a fucking goof.
It is a goof troop.
Yep.
Gosh.
So you know what? But it's interesting because of those things. Like, it makes me feel like that's why we can say we're real niggas. We would not ever do that. And again, a woman was like, "Why do people do this?" And I was like, "I can't tell you because it literally is like." That's some goofy shit to do. It's some shit that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what the goal is besides telling the world you got 5,000. If you got 5,000 and you're proud, cool. Now what? Because what do you do after you post that you got 5,000? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I got an electricity bill due right now and I ain't paid it yet. If I show y'all that, what does it do? That shit, I owe niggas $114 for my electricity bill. I show, oh yeah, I got a bill for $114. I got to pay it.
Yeah.
The fuck does that do? I gotta pay my bill. You still got 5,000. It does nothing for either one of our reputations. My shit actually better. I might get some charity. You might
buy
get
a new house out west. All these bills hit different out here. You post, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. My property tax is like $3,900 a year. That shit crazy.
I just had to get this new washer and dryer installed, and I didn't know that I had to buy, you know what I'm saying, buy this and that to go with it. The washer and dryer hookup, it hit extra $150 on top of it.
Nigga, the whole color scheme fucked up. Now I need granite countertops and shit. You know how them motherfuckers run. I don't. And I don't care because guess what? You got a really nice house that I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
And people think that they put on the gram. But again,
crazy part about it is, to them we sound like haters.
We respect. If you like,
but like, I got some nice shit too that I could show off.
Facts.
But I don't. You know why? Because what is that saying? That a motherfucker that got more shit than you is wondering why you showing off that little shit.
And to someone,
and that's not even the whole thing, but like that's part of it.
It's to someone else they always got more.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not quantifying what I have or what I don't have. I have a homie right now just bought a lit ass house. I am happy as shit for that nigga. But guess what? I couldn't appreciate that. Now, if that nigga wants to throw his big ass house in my face, cool. I mean, it doesn't really do anything to my like how I feel about it because I'm like, I'm happy. You happy? You got a good house. It doesn't hurt my feelings that you have a big house. Like, nigga, oh yeah, your house way smaller. Okay, I like my space.
Yeah.
I have less shit to clean up. Like again,
No
it's
question.
all about subjectivity, and people don't understand. Like it's literally how you stand back and look at shit. Mm-hmm. For instance, segue. Someone told me one day, "You do a lot for your kids. You have to stop acting like your entire existence about your kids. Why does this hurt you?" I don't mind that you wanted to maybe possibly voice your concern that maybe I'm not selfish enough sometimes and I don't take care of myself because I put my kids as my agenda for everything. But at the same time, are you really worried about me taking a break, or are you trying to justify why you take your breaks?
Right.
And that's what it is. If you think that way, stand over here by yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you for taking 6 vacations and having a sitter. I'm not mad at you for none of that shit, but you cannot be upset with me that I want to spend time with my kids and pretend that, oh, we're going to change the narrative that you have to live life too. My nigga, I'm living life. But they think that they can stand back in a different position. They're like, you're not hurting my feelings by saying, all you do is be a dad. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, that's a
You
compliment.
need to
Thank you.
take a vacation. You need a break. You act like life is all about this. My life is. Your
Yeah.
life may not be. Your life may be about parties and looking good and putting fake eyelashes on per weekend. Well, what I'm not going to do is pretend that I care about any of that shit. Mm-hmm. And I think people just forget that everything's not about you. Like, and you and I have had this talk where I'm like, I know how. We've had the talk before. This is for the podcast. You said how you were brought up, and you can explain this. If your cousin and you were walking down the fucking street, and he see a nigga he got beef with, and he gets into a scuffle, what do you do?
We all fighting.
We all
It's
fighting.
a wolf pack.
So it's
and that's
2-on-1.
that's how
It's a
I was
2-on-1.
raised. No question.
That's how
Like
you were raised.
without a doubt. Because you know why? You know because we get back to the house and my mom and my aunt find out that somebody had a fight, and then y'all whooped his ass, right? That's the verbiage.
Right.
And then they find out I didn't jump in. I'm getting my ass beat
And you
at home.
because of your parenting and
Yeah, and I
auntie
think
shit.
that's normal. You know
And
what I'm
you
saying?
So I'm trying to protect myself by
by the time-
whooping this nigga's ass. Like I know if I don't whoop
well,
this
not
nigga's
even
ass,
that, but like it's so ingrained in me. I don't even look at it as
normalized.
self-preservation. I'm like, my cousin is fighting. I don't care if he got this nigga. You about to get your ass whooped, and you gonna know not to fuck with nobody in the family.
Right.
And reputation is gonna spread. Like, no, you don't fuck with that family because they all just wolf pack.
if you see
and
one,
then-
you see them all. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
So not only that, it bleeds over into other shit, non-applicable situations to where like I didn't really have like a lot of homies growing up to where like all my homies that I was cool with growing up, or even all of the fights that I was in growing up were always separate from these situations. So like the homies that I was cool with growing up never really had beef with other niggas. Like even though we was all like from the same hood, had different problems, it would always be just miraculously like whenever I got into a fight and my homies wasn't around. And then when it finally was a situation where my homies was around when I got into a fight, I was like in the 7th grade. So I'm walking home from school and me and this nigga start fighting or whatever. And I'm mad because I'm with the nigga Skylar. And I'm like pissed at Skylar because he didn't jump in. And it was a one-on-one fight. And I'm like, yo, but I was like, why you didn't jump in? And he like, what you mean? I'm like, you supposed to jump in. Like, you didn't jump. He's like, it was one-on-one. I said, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And I'm real life mad at him because I had been indoctrinated into this thinking that when your family fight, you fight. Now, we cool enough and close enough to be family. We done known each other since diapers, nigga. And I knew that in that situation, we had just never had these talks. In that situation, if Skylar would have been in a fight, I would have been on the other nigga's neck. And everybody would have probably looked at Skylar like, oh, you couldn't have whooped him without your homeboy and blah, blah, blah. I never, ever thought that far.
Because you thought like everybody thought like you. You're like, oh, this
Yep,
nigga
I thought that's how it
supposed to jump in.
was.
Right.
I definitely thought that's how it was.
And me growing up, I was the total opposite. If my homie starts getting if I get into a fight, nigga, don't you jump in, nigga. I ain't no bitch ass nigga. I don't need your help.
Yeah.
And the nigga's like, well, no, but I got you. Nah, I'm cool. If I catch this L, I need to learn how to fight better. Just because I have my pride and my ego aside. So it's like I always thought like, if my homie get into a fight, let the nigga get his win or take his L, but all I'm gonna do is stop the L before it gets too bad.
Yeah.
So if you got, it's not gonna be a 2-on-1. It'd be like a 1.25 because I'm just going. If my nigga starts getting beat up too bad, I'm gonna stop the fight. And you're not gonna hit me because this when you get jumped.
Yeah.
But or you get tagged in, and tagged out. So now it's like okay, it's a fucking handicap match, just not at the same time. But my thing was, I was like, damn. I think L's make people stronger.
No
but
question.
again, it also comes from the sake of I might have grew up in a neighborhood or a generation where niggas know how to stop a fight. I remember the first time I seen a nigga almost get. I had to grab. It was my girlfriend from my high school's little brother. He was whooping a nigga ass. He was good. I was like, I'm the only hype man he got. Get that nigga. Get that nigga. Get that nigga. It's 12 motherfuckers around here talking shit. They on the other nigga side. So it's still a 1-on-1. I'm making sure niggas don't get jumped. I'm like, all right, boom. So my niggas winning, and everybody, I'm talking so much shit. Niggas like, hey, nigga, shut the fuck up. I said, so this about to be a 2-on-7? Because I can fight too.
Right.
I will knock 3 of you niggas out, and then the rest of y'all can jump me. It's fine. And we will take the L.
Yeah.
But just don't think that that's going to
It
happen.
ain't gonna be no smoke
At
because
the
you
same
feel
time,
like you got the.
I have no problem hyping my man up on a 1-on-1 when it's 13 niggas on the other nigga's side. But the thing was, my man's, shout out to Davon, he whooped the nigga ass, had him bleeding, and this nigga drank like chocolate milk right before the fight. This shit was crazy. He was in Vegas. This nigga wild. Like, you had chocolate milk before a fight, nigga? Fucking kind of nigga is
So
you?
Carmelo
In a
Anthony
100-degree
program.
weather.
Carmelo.
Like, this is fucking crazy.
Milk was a bad choice.
So the nigga's about to, like, he's got the nigga on the ground. The nigga done slipped, shirt bloody, all this shit. He goes to swing on him with the wild, you know, niggas, it was like 07, big ass shirts and shit. Nigga got the wild sleeve, catch his elbow shit. Nigga slipped. When he hit him, I was like, oh shit. Nigga walks up about to stop on him. I was like, no. I didn't come from the land of stopping niggas' faces out. This nigga came from the land of stopping niggas' faces out. So we all brought up differently. And he's like, why you let me get that nigga? My nigga, fighting is one thing. Going to jail for fighting is another thing. We're
Yeah.
not trying to stomp a nigga face out.
Yeah.
That's when niggas like, I don't want nobody to go
Fuck around and get locked up for
And that was just
manslaughter or
how
some
I
shit.
had never seen it before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nigga, I know how to stop a fight. I know that. We good, my nigga? We good? Oh, I gotta go to the store for my grandma. Now you just take your L and drive
Yeah.
on to bike. my
Yeah.
nigga. So these things have happened, but it's just funny because, and now we're friends, and I'm just like, damn. Hope this nigga Bruce don't get into a fight with me when I start fighting at the club next year, because I'm fucking 32 years old. Nigga try to play me like an old nigga. What's up, OG? We still got beef. I seen you outside the sauna. I ain't want to say nothing at the gym, though. Then nigga swing on me, and then you jump in. I'm like, damn. And it's funny because I might be 32, and I watch nigga with fucking sciatica, and next thing you know, I can't fucking fight. I'm like, nigga, why you ain't jump in, nigga?
Yeah.
So I really think it's just all about like the trends and times, but as long as we're both aware.
Right.
And I think going back to the whole full circle, a lot of people aren't aware, especially on social media, of who we are amongst each other and who they are. You know who you are. You jumping in. I know who I am. I'm not.
Yeah.
We both friends and we both know that about each other. I think the people who are outside looking in, like, why are you this way?
Yeah.
You and I respect that you're one way and I'm another way.
Yeah.
A lot of people be like, nah, I don't think that's right that you. I don't care what you think, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You wasn't in these shoes.
And
You
a
wasn't
lot of homies, I think a lot of homeboys, like, they have different philosophies on that shit. And that's where a lot of disconnects happen. And a lot of niggas fall out because these conversations don't happen before conflict does. Like, I remember I was in LA and I was with one of my homies. It's actually one of my sister's cousins. And we in the club. And we in, like, what is that? Boulevard or some shit like that. Like, it's a real poppin' ass club in LA on Sunset. And I remember it's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to this girl. She fine. I don't remember what she was, like what ethnicity or whatever. She was fine in the motherfucker. I'm just having a conversation with her though, right? And you know, you got girls out in LA, they build a little different, you know what I'm saying? And you have girls that try to come dance with you or whatever, and you know, it's a different scene. Everybody got their little quirks. It's like coming to America, all the different type of chicks that'll come up to you or whatever. I had one girl, this is random, but like it ain't got shit to do with the story, but she dancing with me, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so we grooving or whatever, and I'm like, I'm just out having a good time. I ain't trying to mac nothing or pick nothing up or nothing like that. And she took my hat off my head and put my hat on hers, and I said, oh, you think you was about to get hatfished, huh? Like you just trying to check see if I got my hair still. And she's laughed and shit because I know they done all been through the ringer or whatever. I'm talking to this girl, I don't remember what her name was or whatever. It was just some random ass shit. And all of a sudden, like, this dude come up, this little dude, and he might have been like Korean or something. I don't remember what he was, but he came up just like with his chest all puffed out and shit, and was like, "What's up?" And like this girl she was kind of on my dick a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't really on that shit. I was just having a conversation with her, and then her homegirl was talking to one of my homies or whatever, and so dude comes up, basically trying to fight me. And I'm like, what's up, man? Like, I didn't know that there was your girl or whatever, but like, you know, you could chill out, definitely, but like, whatever, we could turn it up too. It ain't nothing. And I really wasn't trying to fight. I was just out trying to, I think I had on boat shoes, you know what I'm saying? And a driver's cap and probably like a fucking cardigan or some shit. I don't know. Like, you know, like the
Kango type joint?
Yeah.
yeah,
But not a Kango. But like I was that nigga, definitely, you know what I'm saying? Just stylish and shit.
Are you, nigga?
Might have had on a scarf for the club. Like, you know,
This nigga had the
might have been
wild
fall
Dave
time.
Chappelle hat on. That
I
shit
did.
crazy.
I really did. You know, and situation started escalating. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to fight because this dude wasn't backing down. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I could defuse this shit. I'm smarter than this dude. And this is something that I'm trying to teach my son now. Like, it's a time and place to fight, but if you could defuse it and you can outsmart a motherfucker, like, it's almost always better if you can just outthink him. So I can see he turning up. He drunk, but he's fucking turning up for the wrong reason, because I really wasn't trying to. I didn't even know this girl had a nigga in there, and let alone wasn't trying to take his bitch. Like, if that's the case, I guess I gotta fight. But since he had the misunderstanding and I had the clearer mind,
Like, I've seen you almost accidentally take a nigga bitch on accident.
Yeah.
It's not.
it might just be me.
just you.
It might just be
Continue.
me. And that by the way, was like,
but it was not your intent.
It
You
wasn't.
just
I was chilling.
and
I was chilling, fall in my lap like coconut
hey, my
trees.
man, hey, my man, go get your bitch, because she about to, whatever.
Yeah.
She falling for the the tall.
And so
dark, handsome nigga,
I just, it wasn't anything I intended on happening, you know. So I'm getting ready to fight this dude, and I'm like, nah, I could definitely, like, if I got a choice on like whether or not I got to fight or not fight, I don't really want to fight. It take a lot of energy. I might catch a couple blows. I might have to soak in a bathtub. Like, it's all these different
win
things.
is still a
Epsom
loss.
salt.
Like, nigga,
It
you
is.
win,
It
I
is.
still
It
got
is.
scuffs on my tennis runners. Like, my
Yeah.
boat shoes is fucked up.
I don't know
Like,
whether or not they all shoes always get
and
fucked
then
up.
the nigga might try to shoot you the next day.
Exactly. I don't know how long this fallout is going to happen. So anyway, I'm in the club, and this dude, he in my face, and I'm like I said, I'm thinking about like ways I could like think my way out of this, because I'm like, I'd rather not fight. And so I started using like wild sales tactics on the nigga, right? And I was just like, okay, I'll put my salesman hat on. And I was like, for much he's like, what's up, fool? What's up? I was like, hey man, I was like, what's your name? What's your name? I kept asking the nigga his name, and he didn't realize what I was doing. So he finally just was like, my name is whatever. He don't remember his name. Let's say his name was Felipe, right? He was like, Felipe. And I was like, Felipe, man.
A Korean name.
So I kept using his name in a sense. I'm like, look, Felipe, I didn't know that was your girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to have a good time like you, Felipe. I'm here with my friends. And I'm like, I'm sure you're a reasonable guy, right? And, you know, I'm like, you would you say you're a reasonable guy? And he was like,
this nigga's over here.
well, yeah, I guess so. You know what I'm saying? I'm like basically like selling him on the idea of not fighting. But I didn't see what, and the shit actually worked, right? This dude ended up throwing his arm around me and buying me a drink. But I went back, talked to my homeboy. As a matter of fact, and he started like pulling his shirt up and showing me he had some fucking psoriasis or some shit. Talking about, look, I got these boils on my back. True story, not a detail fabricated. He said, well, look, I got this on my back, man. Oh, what do you think this is? Do you think at first I'm thinking he trolling me, like I'm still trying to make sure I don't turn my back on this motherfucker. Cause he like, you know, like the bum in that one video, like, oh man, I'm sorry. He was like, and he like stole it and with the camera. Have you seen this?
Nah,
dude, this shit is
I've
so
seen it,
funny.
I missed it.
We gonna have to put that shit in on here, cause like that is a funny ass video, dude. It's
a
dope
crackhead
thing.
who stole
He's
it
like,
twice?
you know I'm on schizophrenia.
And nigga, you know, my bad, you know this schizophrenia.
And
And then
I
the
just want
nigga,
to
he
shake
does
your
it
hand, man.
twice,
You know
my
I was
nigga.
wrong.
He was like, oh, my bad, man. You know, I got schizophrenia.
I
You know,
just
so
been wanting to
you know,
shake
so
your hand.
I
He's like,
shake
and
your
the
hand.
dude records like, that's all I've been wanting. That's all I've been like, psych, bow.
It was a crackhead, and you can just tell this shit didn't make no sense. And he played the schizophrenia player. He popped the first time he hit him. I was like, oh shit, the nigga hit him. And he was like, oh. And he was like, you like the fake dead shit. It was just like funny as fuck.
He keep like inching his way back to close to the camera.
And then he's like,
twice.
oh man, you know, I got like schizophrenia and shit, and it's just, oh, you know, I'm sorry, I wanted to shake your hand and say, nigga, bow, I hit him twice.
We just trying to kick him.
He's like, yeah, I don't even. So he smacked the nigga twice in 45 seconds, and he's like, nigga, why did the nigga hit you first time?
That's wild funny.
It's funny.
So I'm thinking, I don't know, I don't want to catch no fade on that shit, but he like pulling his shirt up and showing me this shit, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy, man. I'm still trying to keep it diffused. I know I've diffused it, but I don't want to just walk out like, yeah, fuck you, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just still like, oh, okay, cool, I guess we're friends now. So my homeboy, I didn't realize was in the cut the whole time. He had like, I don't know if he poured his beer out or if he had just like drank his beer real fast, but he had the bottle cuffed. And my homie, he bowed it as fuck. If you knew who I was talking about, dude, he a real, like, you would think he a real L7 nigga, like, right? He business oriented, it's dressed real fucking sharp all the time, but he bout that life though. And I didn't even see him, and he said he saw somebody who was sizing me up. One of his homeboys was about to come sneak me. And he was like, if he was reading the whole situation, like I would have read it if I was sober, like, let me see who all is around, shit like that. But I'm just focused on this one motherfucker, right? He peeping the whole scene. He got the whole aerial map, and he about to crack this nigga in the head with the bottle that run up on me.
Felipe homie.
Yeah, Felipe homie. My homie about to intercept Felipe homie, because I'm about to fight.
That you never saw.
I never saw this dude. Never saw him or whatever. So you always gotta know what kind of motherfuckers you out, and it's not an organic conversation to have. Like, hey man, so we get into it with some niggas, you got my back. If somebody asked me that, I'm like, yo, you got beef with somebody? What's going on? Should I be aware of some shit that you told me? You know what I mean? You never really just think to have those conversations unless they come up organically.
But I think now we don't get mad about that no more. Like if
We older now. Like,
if you got into a fight today and Skylar didn't jump in, you're like, I mean,
oh, you know,
like Skylar, what was you thinking, bro?
I'm
He's like, oh, nigga, I was trying to talk to the bitch over here.
I wouldn't even know. If it was one-on-one, like, I got my ass, I always got my ass.
But it's like,
and I learned that lesson when I was fucking 25 years old, nigga. I got beat up at a Barack Obama vote party. I really did. I got my ass whooped by some project niggas. I got jumped.
please,
I guess one of the niggas thought they was tough because one of them had a pistol, so they all thought they was tough or whatever. But it was like, nigga, me and Skyler, and we out, and it was like around the time of my birthday, right? It was like I just turned 25, and it was like the weekend after my birthday party. You know how you always think like, oh, if it was celebrate your birthday, you don't know which weekend to celebrate it, but it was like on the end of the week, so I was like, I'll celebrate it Saturday. So we go out, and it's like right before he got inaugurated, right before he got elected, actually. And so we all out like hoping that the nigga, matter of fact, I think it might have been an inauguration party. I don't know, it must have been. Yeah. So we chilling, but we don't know where to go because like whatever like 1507 had turned into was dying, and there wasn't really no spot to go. But Tip Top had a party, and it was like 18.
Nigga had a baby. Nigga had a fucking baby.
How did that baby?
This nigga. You said what up to the baby or what? This nigga just walked by the door with the baby. Like nigga, it's a fucking coffee shop right there. Like, I'm confused.
Where was you like rocking them trying to?
And that nigga, they playing pool out there.
Yeah.
Niggas got wild like low soft rock over there playing. What the fuck
no,
is this nigga?
No, yeah, like this. Anyway, hold on, where was I at?
You was at the Crips. I mean the project niggas. I mean,
oh yeah.
It was the same thing though.
So we at this party and like it's 18 and up, and it's at the Tip Tops, but so they're not serving alcohol.
Is the Till still there? Man, Till. What's that shit called? Was it called the Till?
Till.
No,
I don't think so.
In play. Was In play there?
It might have been.
Okay.
That's
what Tip Top turned into.
It might have been there. Okay. It might have been. But no, I don't think it was there. But it was like in his little ballroom or whatever. And one security guard, no alcohol, and I'm like, this could potentially be a real bad situation. But at the same time, ain't no alcohol, so niggas probably really ain't gonna trip, right? So then me and the homies, we there, we chilling, we like, what we gonna do? And I said, like, well, let's just go get something to drink. We could just, you know what I'm saying, just tip in the parking lot, come back in here or whatever. We go get liquor, we drink in the parking lot, go back in there. And then it's cool because it's like you got your little, you know what I'm saying, it was like some frat niggas was in there. There's some, you know what I'm saying, not even saying that that's what made it cool, because, you know, but I'm just saying, like, it was like a very stale, like, stable environment.
So because you saw frat niggas in there, you thought this was not volatile.
Exactly.
Which is fair.
Exactly.
It's fair because the niggas
exactly.
Right.
The niggas don't get in shootouts.
They
like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never hear about that. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
All they do is they have dance battles. Like Stomp the Yard, they dance battle.
Exactly.
Okay,
you know
cool.
what I'm saying? Oh, and that's the worst that can happen is, like, I guess if you bump into one of them niggas while they're doing their stroll or whatever, you might have to fight the whole crew, but I've never seen
over
that
the
happen.
dance.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like Michael Jackson band.
But they disrespectful of everybody's personal space. When they dance, they're going all over here.
Right. They're leaning
so
on niggas and they boot laces is hitting motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, eyelets and aglets is flying all over the place. I don't know. So,
nigga said eyelets. And somebody Google eyelets.
Aglets.
The shoelace, right?
Eyelets is on the shoelace.
Okay, with the circle is the eyelets.
That's the eyelet. Okay, so
the circle, the lace goes through. The aglet
is
the fucking lace.
Yeah. I don't know why the fuck we know that shit. But anyway, so thinking it's a mild environment, and at the end of the night, I'm drunk as fuck. I'm like, hey man, this shit was kind of cool. I got dreadlocks down to here, right? Hair's down, and then all of a sudden, I see like just this chair fly across the room. Nigga get hit. Bow! Nigga just holding his face. It's not funny. Nigga's face bloody as fuck.
You got hit with a chair in the face though?
Chair straight up. Matter of fact, no, I'm skipping major details. Hold on, let me back the fuck up. So, like I said, it's one security guard, right? I'm there, and the nigga Skyler's there, ironically. Some of the people he grew up with is there. You know what I'm saying? A couple of hood niggas we know is like really get busy. And a couple of niggas I known since like they was kids. And so, all of a sudden, it's like this big ball of energy forms, right? Where it's people like tug of war, and I don't know if one of the homies had got into it with somebody, but everybody's just pulling on each other. The security guard, big nigga, he like my height, but I was like 170 pounds at the time. He like probably 280, you know what I'm saying? But not in like not in the scooter way.
Right.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's
But
just
he's
a
big.
Samoan looking. So he go in there, he get in the crowd, and he starts pulling the homie. Right now, this nigga gets busy. So I'm like, yo, I literally seen him crack bottles over bitches' heads before, like he hit a woman in the head with a beer bottle before. Like he gets down, and not just because it's a woman. I'm saying he like whatever
he don't care. He don't care no matter
give a
what
fuck.
it is. Yeah.
So I'm like seeing him, and this is somebody I know personally. So I'm like, yo, you gotta chill, you gotta chill. I grab his face like this. I'm like, dude, you gotta chill. He said, I'm calming down. And everybody to this day is like, dude, I can't believe you grabbed his face. Like, this is how tough this nigga is, right? They pull him out, like they picked him up, and the security guard, the one security guard just rushed this nigga out, right? The whole time I see his homie on some shit that I just told you, like on the story before. I'm drunk, but I'm still able to calculate everything else. I see his homie in the corner, and he like steaming up, and he about to go, you know what I'm saying, go run over and do the club punch. And I intercept him, I grab him, I'm like, yo, we about to go out the other way. Right? Because I'm like, at least I can't do nothing with this big ass ball of negative energy. Everybody pulling on shot, I don't know what the fuck happened. I could at least take him out the other way, right? So I'm about to pull him out, and we standing there with the niggas just start fighting all over the place. That's when I see nigga hit the chair, boom. You know what I'm saying? All this shit's had melee breaks out. It's like fights over here, fights over there. Like how that weird shit just be happening. Where it's like, if it's like a hood, where's Waldo, and you panning the fucking camera around, you wouldn't even see the nigga because you like not worried about finding a nigga with red and white stripes on, you just worried about fighting. Like watching all these individual fights, right? So we standing here, I got my arm around the nigga just so he don't like turn up, and he mad and shit. I'm like, no, we gonna wait till this shit cool out, we gonna go out the other way. And then all of a sudden I seen one of my homies get rocked. Like nigga just walked up on him, bow! Glasses flew off his face, and this is a homie that don't fuck with nobody.
He's the cool nigga.
Cool nigga. One of the coolest niggas I ever met. So
It's fucked up. He deserves to be a casualty.
I'm just like, oh shit. And that Wolfpack mentality kicks in.
You better snuff the
Next
nigga
thing
in.
I know, is my drunk ass is flying through the air, nigga, and I clothesline this nigga. I don't punch him, I don't trust him, I clothesline this nigga, right? Took him down, bow!
Nigga Stone Cold Stunner.
Next thing I know, it's 3 Crip niggas jumping me out, man. Stomping the shit out of me, man. And I'm like, I remember like getting hit, and I just like pinned the other nigga down that I had got already. And all I hear was like, get that nigga, cuz, get that nigga. And I was getting whooped on, right? Niggas hitting me in the back of the head and shit. And I got all my hair is in front of my face. Like, you gotta imagine, I can't see shit except the nigga that I got pinned down. So I'm like, this nigga gonna feel everything that I'm feeling while they beat me until I started to get sleepy. And I was like, oh, I'm tired. And so I was like, nah, fuck that. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, in my drunken state, I'm like, no, if I go to sleep, I'm knocked out and they're gonna really fuck me up and wake up and I ain't gonna have no teeth or some shit. Best case scenario, right? So I'm like, fuck that, I gotta like muscle out of this shit. I'm like, ugh. And I remember I stood up and I remember a nigga like came from under him, bow, hit me in my face real hard, like, you know what I'm saying, the last little hit. And like one of my homies had like pulled me up. And I don't know how he wasn't in the fight either. Because I felt like 40 fists, but it was only 3 niggas, right? And then the other nigga who I ended up like, who I clotheslined, the original nigga for was Ghost.
Never saw him.
Never saw him. I knew the guy.
I knew that.
Oh wow. And so after that, it was tough because that was when I learned like, if I see a grown man get stole on, you fucking got hit, dog.
He's like, that's the story.
You got hit. And then everybody was asking him, like his homies was asking him, like, what happened, Bruce? Blah, blah, blah. He was like, oh man, I couldn't find my glasses.
And you think of yourself, nigga, I did all that for you.
Yeah.
And
cool. I'm still cool with the nigga to this day. I'm not even telling
he thought about. He thought about that.
I'm not telling this story to because he's the type of, he might hear this. Like he's a nigga who support my shit. Like it ain't no shade to him at all. I think he's still one of the coolest niggas I ever met. He just ain't a fighter, and that's cool. I'm not trying to brag about being a fighter. I got my ass whooped that day, but then I realized like, yo, I gotta really adjust my thinking. Because everybody's not like this.
He didn't have that conversation. He was like, I don't know why I got hit.
Like, I'm out.
And my glasses knocked off.
He's not trying to take the leave. And if I was like built like him, I probably would be the same nigga. And I can't fault him for being that way. Right. He didn't want to fight. I didn't want to fight either, but I felt like I didn't have a choice. And that's my thing too. And that's why I tell my son, like, try to always diffuse the situation 100 ways. Because, you know what I'm saying, like the little situation I told you about, what he got going on or whatever he had going on. I'm like, you always try to diffuse the situation. But if somebody is backing you into a corner and saying, nah, what's up? Fucking take their head off. Like, it's like the yin and the yang. You do no harm, but you take no shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you gotta look like a punk or whatever for diffusing the situation, you out-thunk the nigga. Like, just go ahead and take the L or whatever.
But that's like the whole ego and pride thing. It's like,
It
who's
is.
watching?
That's tough. That's exactly.
Because
you know,
we've all had the situation where it's like
That's
it'd be you and you one-on-one, and you'd be like, fuck. Nobody knows what the conversation was that we had.
yeah.
And let's be realistic, so much random conversation that we've had about me. And you was there, the stairwell shit. I was in the stairwell. Seen that nigga at Baker's the other day. I was
Oh
like,
shit! You just really got like a whole bunch of old faces.
nigga, they popping up. Nigga, I'm in Baker's. I'm like, who's goofy ass nigga in these harachos? Nigga walk goofy as a bitch. And nigga turned around. I said,
You knew the nigga.
oh wow.
Oh wow.
I knew the nigga. I was like, damn. Here I go being a bitch ass nigga reflexively. But nigga, I had a do rag on, so nigga probably respected my gangster. But it pissed me off. I was like, damn. I'm actually cool with this nigga now. The shit obviously has subsided. But in my mind, I'm still supposed to hate you.
You still looking at that intersection by Baker's / Walmart that you like, damn, it used to be a traffic
Nigga.
light.
The thing was, when I seen it, it was organic. Like, I seen him, I was like, I know you. I don't like you. What up, nigga? Like, there's no hard feelings. But then I walked to the motherfucking check. I was like, you growing up, G, because you could have been a whole whatever. You could have been a whole whatever. And then stopped and like, don't talk to me, nigga. I don't fuck with you, whatever it is. But it's like, obviously, I outgrew that beef. But it was just funny. Like, I think obviously circumstances were different. That nigga didn't. He did. He didn't say he was gonna break my jaw, but he was gonna. That's crazy.
See,
this podcast might
That's
be a bad idea because all this did was just bring up old.
But see, but you've shown growth in that. I think it's a great idea.
No, but if I'd have thought the way I'm thinking right now, I wouldn't have been that cool.
Nobody listening to this.
I had eggs in my hands, G. That's the only reason that I ain't snuffed.
You could have did the Brian Popper and just like cracked
Smack
the
that nigga with
head.
that. Fuck.
But all that being said, like nobody take any of this as advice.
Right.
We are not therapists. We're not lawyers. I'm not saying that's how you should even resolve a conflict. You know, I feel like I got my shit figured out. You might get yourself fucked up out here and tricked off on these streets. You know, don't take it from me. I ain't nothing but a regular nigga.
And to us together combined, we just some super regular
Super
niggas.
regular niggas.
I don't know though.
I don't know. Hashtag I don't know though.
Hashtag I don't know though.